Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but it's even if I walk down the street and saw someone wearing that, you'd take more than a second glance after they walk by. Good luck to him today. I think, Dennis Pagan's comments stand true. You'd want to get a kick if you're looking like that. Fremantle versus the Western Bulldogs. The Dogs looking to go 3-1. Luke Beveridge, who is out of contract at the end of the season, slowly swinging contract negotiations back his way. The 2016 Premiership coach Justin Longmuir would know that he can continue to ease any talk about his future with another win today if the Dockers can make it 2-2. Update for you again from that game at Adelaide Oval. 11 minutes gone in the third term. The Saints lead the Power 10-7-67 to Port Adelaide's 6-9-45. Mitch, who wins this one for you?
I'm just going to back the home team, Clint. See it either way. I'll go the Dockers by 2 goals.
Billy? Wowie?
Yeah, I'm going for the home team as well with very little confidence. So I'm going to say 5-point margin to Freo.
Western Bulldogs for me by 2 goals.
And Freo fans will rejoice that you tipped the Bulldogs, Wowie, because I've tipped Freo, and we know what happens when every member of the ABC Sports team goes the one way. That's never the way it pans out. So Shane Woden, the one in our box, is tipping the Western Bulldogs to get the 4 points away from home. Bridget Lacey's already been busy on the boundary downstairs so far today. Let's check in with her again. It seems a little bit cooler. The sun looks to have just gone behind a cloud, Bridget, but still it's going to be a warm afternoon. Welcome to you.
Thanks, Clint. It sure is. It's glorious conditions for a soft boundary rider, which we all know I am, and 28, 29 degrees, just a bit of a breeze, if anything, favouring the Graham Farmer Freeway at the end. As you said, the sun was baking the oval just until a few minutes ago, so it's likely to come back on and be pretty hot out there for the players. Just some news as well from Fremantle, just letting us know that Shea Bolton is wearing a black armband today in honour of Andrew Cracker. Which is a nice touch. So the starting benches for Fremantle, Draper, Banfield, Dudley, Johnson, and the tactical sub is Carl Warner. And for the Dogs, Dolan, Bramble, McNeil, O'Donnell, and the tactical sub is Harvey Gallagher.
Would also be remiss of me not to mention, as Neil Danaher's name was spoken about in the box at the back by Shane Woden just a second ago. It's well worth mentioning what Fremantle did before the start of proceedings. Purple Hands Foundation game in round 9 coming up. They had the hand-in-hand crossing for inclusion today. Before today's game, members of the WA community to come across the Matagara Bridge together, shining a light on disability inclusion in sport and across the community. Purple Hands Foundation, Fremantle Dockers and WA All Abilities wanted fans from all across the state to go and be led across the bridge by the AFL legend. It was great to have him here in the West. Fight MND co-founder and the 2025 Australian of the Year, Neil Danaher OA, who was here with us. So, toss of the coin, Mitch Turner.
Toss of the coin won by Alex Pearce and the Fremantle Dockers. They'll kick to the right of our broadcast position, which is the city end of the ground. The Western Bulldogs will kick to the Graham Farmer Freeway end of the ground.
Western Bulldogs won last time these sides went head-to-head, and they won in some style by 67 points. Bontempelli had 30 disposals and kicked 3 that day. Freo fans will be relieved. They won't have to worry about one of the best in the competition, still out with the calf injury. But there are still the likes of Bramble, Dale, Lobb, West, and this young superstar in the form of Sam Darcy that they will have to contend with. The Dockers ending what has been 3 weeks in a row where they haven't had to get on a plane. They'd love to make it 2-1 from those 3 weeks and make it 2-2. And the competition prop up. Everyone's in position. We're set to go. The final game of round 4. AFL 2025 from Perth Stadium. On ABC Radio, thanks to ABC Sport. Here's Sunday footy. To get us started, Mitch Turner.
Tim English for the Dogs. Luke Jackson for the Dockers in the ruck. Ball bounce, run away. The first term here at Perth Stadium. Jackson got his main hand to it. Richards couldn't gather for the Dogs. Jackson did well to Crum for Fremantle. Got it out to O'Meara and he's kicked wide. The broadcast wing is marked by O'Driscoll. Uses the bright fluoro boots on today. Rolls onto that left boot. Kicks up the wing, looking for either Bolton or Tracy. And Karmas came through the big fist and sent it about 5 rows back. And allow the two teams to reposition themselves.
Yeah, Karmas on Tracy, lob on Voss, leaving Jones on Amos.
Jackson and English stalk each other as they await the ball to be spun back in. Jackson took it out of the ruck, trying to get a handball to a teammate. It went straight to Fraser of the Dogs. Baker got it back to Harms. Now the run of Dale. The Dogs go through the middle by hand. Kennedy looks out wide for a target, puts it in front of West and Davidson. West gathers, just opposed to Sharp, was able to get it back to Davidson. His kick towards half forward is marked by Norton, about 60 out.
Norton sends it quickly to the right forward pocket. Darcy is able to beat Alex Pearce in the one-on-one. He marks deep in the right forward pocket. He'll put boots a ball from about 45 metres out.
Exactly as we talked about in the preview, that inside to outside from the Bulldogs off half back, and then Alex Pearce slipping to the front and Darcy getting those long arms up.
Just leaned on him, didn't he?
Yeah, you don't want to be caught in front.
No. It's great hands. It was great hands off half back.
21 years of age. What a superstar this young man could turn out to be. Here he comes. Darcy for the Bulldogs. Kicks on its way. Brings the Dogs fans to their feet at the Farmer Freeway end of Perth Stadium. They're on the board with a goal in the opening 2 minutes. It comes from the boot of Sam Darcy. This son of a gun who was a son of a gun. 1 straight 6 for the Bulldogs. The Dockers yet to score. 2 minutes gone in the opening term. This is Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
It also worked well with West and Davidson out on the outer wing. But just great to see Norton coming at the footy too at half forward. That was a great kick by Davidson also. Just to be able to wait it perfectly for him.
Probably not the player that Fremantle wanted to get off to a flyer, Sam Darcy. And that's the other thing in his game. We're talking pre-match so much about conversion. He's pretty reliable.
Standing about 35 metres out from goal right now, opposed to Alex Pearce. In that forward line is Sam Darcy. Riley West, the deepest of the Dogs forward, back in the middle. Bounce, favoured Jackson a little, managed to get it towards Sarong. Now Brayshaw in game 150, spins, kicks towards half-forward. Frederick going back, takes a lovely mark, plays on, immediately runs in on goal, and answers straight back to the Dockers. There's the instant response. Michael Frederick, terrific mark going back with the fly. Landed on his feet, took off immediately, steadied from 40 and put it through. The Dockers 1 straight 6, the Bulldogs 1 straight 6. 3 minutes played in the opening term here. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Our experts Shane Woden and Peter Bell.
Sarong caused the spill. Brayshaw got the clearance, and Michael Frederick is underrated aerially. He's got a really good vertical jump. He got position on his opponent, Bailey Dale, and said, you know what, I'm playing on, I'm going to kick the goal. Made the goal umpire work a bit, but got the desired result.
Entertaining start. Wherever you're sitting in the ground. Goals at both ends. English took clean possession of the restart, got it to Liberatore, got a hurried kick forward for the Bulldogs. Good effort. And then Wagner knocked it down. Richards picks it up, kicks inside forward 50. Darcy met it, beautifully handed off. This is Sanders. Moving it on, they kick the goal. Bulldogs with their second. Gee, they've worked that pretty well. It'll come back 2 straight 12 to 1 straight 6, and the Western Bulldogs right out of the middle.
Just at all costs, just getting the ball forward there. Just hands of Libba to get from hand to foot. Just get it forward. Great hands by Darcy. Coming at the footy, and clever finish.
Well, I think we've got 3 goals in 19 disposals so
in
far
2
in
minutes.
this game. Unbelievable start.
So Riley Sanders yet to really have his breakout moment, but promises a lot.
Highly talented young player from Tasmania, just learning the basics of the game. He's going to have a big impact in his career.
Talented players from Tasmania will make a lot of clubs nervous in the coming years as the bounce is recalled. Everyone with a link to Tassie will be getting a phone call, you'd imagine.
Be mad not to, wouldn't you?
Does have some talent. Ball tossed up on the restart now. English trying to take it out of the ruck, was taken high by Jackson. Advantage was almost paid. Libba wanted to run away with it, the acting captain for the Dogs. Umpire brought it back to English, standing in the middle of the centre circle, goes short to the lead of Kennedy. Handballs off to Baker. Headband on as usual, kicks it to the top of the goal square, going back with the flight. And taking a strong mark is Ryan for the Dockers. Built a career on intercept marks. Has Luke Ryan. On that occasion, he held up as he goes short and wide to the right back pocket. And Jordan Clark receives the mark.
Clark for Fremantle. The shadows, the northern part of Perth Stadium, kicks high up in the air. Oh, Tracy went very early. And he'll give away the free kick. Jackson had taken the mark, but Tracy flew well before acceptances. Gives away a free kick for a push in the back. This will be English that will have it for the Bulldogs on centre wing. He'll move it short dangerously. Is it enough to be paid a mark?
It's nowhere near 15 metres.
I didn't think it was either, but it has been paid by the umpire to Liberatore. That's one for the Bulldogs, who kicks into the left forward pocket through the hands of Ryan. At the back, there's Jackson for the Dockers. Kicks up into the air again, back from whence it came. Reed for the Dockers attacks the football. Couldn't quite gather. Liberatore was there. They hand pass it forward to Williams, moving it on to Dale. Gathered hard up against the boundary. Takes a bounce, goes back by hand to Liberatore on centre wing. Puts the Bulldogs into the middle of the ground. It's nicely worked to Davidson.
Davidson, short chip over the top, finds Kennedy. Getting very involved early is Matthew Kennedy. Now looks to go inside the forward 50. Wasn't a great kick. It was a bit of a grubbering floater. And Sharp was able to intercept and flick it wide by foot to Chapman. He played on the Dockers defender. Now held up by Fraser. Eventually gets a kick up towards the wing. Frederick one-on-one v Davidson. Did well to get it towards a teammate. Did Frederick. O'Meara was taken off it. Crowd wanted a free kick. It was late.
Coming back to O'Meara.
The umpire is bringing the ball back.
Sure about that one.
Towards the wing position. He went to ground. We'll have to wait and see a replay. You watch that as I watch O'Meara kick the ball towards the top of the goal square. Pack goes up. English almost took the mark. It falls down. Williams for the Dogs. Looping handball out wide finds Dale. Now to Baker. Takes a little bit of a run and kicks beyond defensive 50 to the wing where Darcy's in front position. But Ryan got the fist into the Dockers. It fell out the back. Fraser takes it, gives it to Vandermeer, streaming towards the 50, kicks it towards Norton, can't take the mark. Cox knocks it away and Clark set it crumb.
Clark takes a bounce, runs to right half back, kicks towards the commentary wing, went past Brayshaw, attacked it, coming the other way, Jones, picked up by Tracy, bumps it long inside forward 50, no one can take the mark, Jackson tapped into his own advantage, tries to get Boothwood, sockets it off the ground, kicks the goal. Sheer willpower for Jackson. Just kept fighting away through the right boot at the footy and saw it between the big sticks for Fremantle's second goal.
Well, the game is being played at a frenetic pace, end to end. It is so exciting to watch. Jackson getting the goal from the goal square. Brilliant spoil by Brennan Cox on Aaron Norton, who had position. Cox got a hand in. Jordan Clark swept it out of defence and Fremantle went length of ground.
9 minutes gone in the first. The Dockers and the Bulldogs both 2 straight 12.
Pushed hard forward, Jackson, didn't he? Vandermeer had to have a shot at goal. Break 50, get to 40, knock it over and back yourself in. It was a really tough kick to be able to get to Norton in that position.
As much as we're loving this game, I know that Fremantle, this is not the game that they want. They do not want it to be this way.
Shootout.
Sam Darcy into the ruck for the first time today, up against Jackson. Jackson got a hand to it, but tapped it straight to Darcy, who got the handball to Sanders, kicking around his body towards half forward. Norton went up in the middle of the pack. Was he infringed? He was infringed upon. It was sandwiched between a couple of Dockers. Alex Pearce reaching over the top. Caught him high. Norton kicking a half from home, goes short to the leading target of Darcy, and that is just part of what he can do. He started it all in the ruck, and he's on the end of it now. Have a set shot from about 45 metres out directly in front.
Alex Pearce would be flat. Darcy playing as a ruck. Took Luke Jackson all the way down to the goal square and then let up on him. It was a lovely kick. The Fremantle skipper would be a bit disappointed in his teammate there.
Sam Darcy lining up for an early second. Directly in front. Darcy kicks. And for a man of incredible height, he continues to grow in front of our eyes. Sam Darcy has 2 goals to his name. The Bulldogs back out by 6 points, 3 straight 18. The Dockers 2 straight 12. 10 minutes played in the first term. Our experts for Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Dual premiership player Peter Bell, Brownlow medalist Shane Woewodin.
There's the kick. There's not much room there to be able to pick that pass out. But great kick by Norton. Picked it up off his bootlaces and finished again.
Yeah, Darcy was just going back to the goal square with Jackson defending him, and Jackson relaxed for just 1 split second. Darcy kicked lead and was good enough to get the mark.
Good craft.
9 goals for this season for Sam Darcy. Now taking his chances. So impressive. Here he is in the ruck, wins it against Jackson, spills down to Brayshaw, try to get it to Sarong. Now back to Jackson, can't gather. Sarong overran it. Beautifully taken up off the deck. Fraser hands it off to Harms. Gets tackled by Johnson, just got a ball out. The Dockers pounce. It comes to Cox. Hand pass to Jackson. Through the middle of the ground they go. To Sarong. Kicks towards full forward. It'll bounce the way of Bolton. He works his way around and then kicks the goal. Just showed too much pace. The Bulldogs defence went to his right, swung to his left. It all opened up. And Shea Bolton continues what is an incredible start to this contest. End-to-end stuff. Goal, goal, goal. 3 goals apiece. 18 points apiece. 12-18 gone on the opening term.
Oh, it's just run and stun. I can't believe how good this game is. Well done to Matty Johnson, who chased James Harms down, and Brennan Cox took the grass in front of him and set up a really attacking chain of handballs, and there's that first goal for Shea Bolton in purple. Well done.
Great kick by Sarong. Just kicked it to space. Forced Bolton to move there.
He got a massive round of applause too as he came to the bench. The Dockers fans pretty excited that he's finally got one. Shea Bolton has played some decent footy though. Ball back in the middle. O'Meara tackled from the restart. Sanders had him and had him cold. Holding the ball. Good start for Sanders. Already has a goal. Goes wide by foot. The edge of the centre square. Jones under pressure from Tracy. Got to kick away towards half forward. In front. Reaching up just too tall. Sam Darcy. And a couple of grabs was paid the mark opposed to Cox. Here's a nightmare matchup. He's too far out to score. He goes back inside the centre square to Rory Lobb. And there are the boos from the Fremantle crowd. The former Docker with the lobster haircut. Rory Lobb kicks to the top of the goal square at the back. West flew, couldn't take the mark. Davidson tried to hack it out of midair. So too did Norton. Ball bobbling around 15 metres out from the Dogs' goal. Sanders, he gathered cleanly. Kick was almost marked by Norton. It falls to Chapman. He's tackled. No prior opportunity to be a ball up. 15 metres out from the Dogs' attacking goal. Scores level.
Ball thrown aloft. One down by the Dockers. It came to Luke Ryan. Kick towards right half back. Comes back inside the forward 50 for the Bulldogs. Here's Sanders. Trying to get a hand pass out. O'Driscoll onto it. Met by Dale, who drives him over the boundary line. Throw in. 50 out from the Bulldogs attacking goal. They're heading to the left of our broadcast position in this term. The Farmer Freeway end of Perth Stadium. Scores level. 3 straight 18 apiece. Shot of Rory Lobb's haircut on the big screen. Crowd reacting to it. Voss palming it down. Harms got it there for the Bulldogs. Hand pass forward to Richards. Kept it in play. They shovel it around again through Richards. Came to Sanders. Back to Dale. Kicks inside forward 50. Travels the pack. Trying to get to it first. Here's Davidson. He's able to gather. Did he keep it in play? Swept the hand pass back. Hard up against the behind line. Kick from Norton was smothered. Still there to be won. West tries to go in and get it. So too Darcy. There's a Docker underneath all of that. It's Ryan. It's been held to him. They'll ball it up. 35 out from goal. Inside the Bulldogs, forward 50, 15 gone in the opening term. Score still level, 3 straight, 18 apiece.
The umpire just stopping play for a moment. Not sure. Might be a
Blood rule.
They're not signaling blood rule. They're checking if the Davidson
went over the line
attempt to bring the ball back into play went over the line, and it doesn't
Review
appear
complete.
so.
Look at this and look, the ball remains in play at all times. Decision on scoreboard.
Well, 1 point can make a big difference, as we found out yesterday with the Adelaide Crows going down to the Gold Coast Suns, so they're making sure they get it right. It will be no score, so the ball will continue to remain in this position inside the Dogs' 50. It's tossed up, tapped down to O'Driscoll for Fremantle, clearing kick, going back, taking a nice mark is Matthew Kennedy, former Blue. A couple of goals against his old side. He goes inside 50, looking for Darcy, punched away from him. McNeil did the crumbing. He's tackled by two Dockers in O'Driscoll and Clark, and they'll ball it up again inside the Dogs' forward arc.
Disposals 52, Bulldogs 21, Fremantle.
Voss v Darcy. Darcy got the tap down, couldn't find a teammate. It comes out to Kennedy. Snap around the body from 40 metres. Gets a horrible bounce on the goal line. It bounced up on its end, stayed in play, and Chapman was able to get it to Clark and clear to the wing where Jones spills the mark.
He flew, but he couldn't mark. Bramble at the back for the Bulldogs to Williams. He's tackled by Murphy Reid. That's holding the ball. He'll get the free kick for the Dockers at right half back.
He had Libra as a forward handball there.
Murphy Reid will move it short onto the chest of O'Driscoll, who marks, still at right half back, maybe 2 metres in from the boundary. 3-quarter time, by the way, at Adelaide Oval. The Saints 11-8-74 to Port 8-10-58. The kick is long towards right half forward. Amos couldn't mark it. Spills down to the Bulldogs. Bramble goes back to lob. Every time he touches it, you'll hear the boo. Comes to Liberatore, sweeping it forward to Williams. Quick hands. It ends up with Harms. Kicks around the body towards left half forward. Punch at the back was a good one too from the Dockers. Great spoil. Nicely done then from Draper. Ball still in dispute across left half forward for the Dogs. Pearce emerges with it for the Dockers. Hand pass to Brayshaw. Hands it on again to Clark. Now to O'Meara. Shovels it forward. Misses his target. Richard Karmas picks it up. Goes back by hand to Bramble. Closed down by Reid, but cool enough to find Harms, who marks it left half back in the shadows, and then moves it short to Liberatore, who marks. Still no change to that score. 18 gone in the opening term, 3 straight, 18 apiece.
Liberatore's kick up the wing, finds English, bounces to his feet, kicks it inside the forward 50, and the ball is marked by guess who? Sam Darcy.
They're just keeping the ball alive. Handball after handball. They've had 37 handballs and 32 kicks, the Bulldogs, so that gives you an indication of what they're trying to do. Get the ball to the outside.
I knew it wasn't Rory Lobb when you said guess who.
Well, you would have heard.
Exactly.
The crowd would have told the story. Sam Darcy already has 2 goals. We are right behind the kick from outside 50. It's not going to score. It goes towards the top of the goal square. English in front, couldn't take the mark. West had a quick kick, went straight up in the air. English couldn't bring it down. Pearce for the Dockers. His handball wide. Looking for Clark. Keeps the ball in play initially. And his handball in the pocket goes out of bounds as Pearce and English just tangle a little bit in the background. The ball will be tossed back in about 15 metres around.
Living in Bulldogs territory at the moment. 12-4 inside 50s in their favour.
So English and Jackson, they jostle again. High ball tossed back in off Jackson's hand, out the back to Sharp. Quick kick in the middle of the ground, and Lobb stood tall over Voss and took the mark.
Here is the lobster kicking to the right forward pocket. Stretching Vandermeer, couldn't quite mark. Clark takes it away. Used it well himself. And swept the hand pass to Dudley. Beyond defensive 50, moves it on to Sharp. Can he keep it in play? Not quite. It was down low, took a tumble across the line before Sharp could gather for Fremantle. There'll be a throw in, left half back or right half forward for the Bulldogs, left half back for the Dockers, outer side, southern wing here at Perth Stadium.
And although the score is level, this game is looking like a Bulldogs game to this stage.
Dockers would like it to be a lot more contested. It's been free-flowing and entertaining. Here's Jackson, palming it down, lost his footing, went to ground, picked up by Kennedy. Chance to measure a kick here for The Bulldogs inside forward 50. Darcy stretched from the Sanders kick. Couldn't mark. Coming away with it. Draper got it to O'Driscoll for the Dockers. He'll kick towards centre wing. Lobs out. Can't mark that. Tries a second time against Reid. Reid hand passes off the ground. Meant for Boss. Got shoved in the back against Davidson. Voss will have the free kick on true centre wing. Still that score remains. 3 straight 18 apiece between the Dockers and the Dogs. Just into time on in the opening term.
Voss's kick inside the forward 50 in front. English for the Dogs. Off hands. Fell to Karmas. Retreats further back to Jones. Thought about switching it instead. Comes out the far side and did well to get it to Dale. Strong mark. About an 8-metre kick which is paid to Sanders. That was not 15. But the Dogs have it. Sanders kick up the wing. Marked by Davidson. A little handball coming past. Ends up with Dale in the bright boots. Kicks inside the forward 50 over the top. Darcy can't mark opposed to Pearce. Good one-on-one battle at right half forward. Ball hits the deck. Darcy does the crumbing now. Little tumbling kick looking for McNeil. It's chopped off by Freo with Johnson. His handball. Gets to Chapman, somehow breaks the tackle, releases Draper, kick to the wing, set a task for Reid, coming through lob, took the body and the ball and delivers inside forward 50 to Riley West. They can boo all they like. That was terrific play by Rory Lobb, and West will have a set shot tucked up tight in the right forward pocket at the Graham Farmer Freeway end.
Yeah, sensational come forward defence from Rory Lobb. He put a lot of body on Murphy Reid as well and delivered it expertly inside 50. 16-5 on that count in the Bulldogs' favour, so really living in the Western Bulldogs half of the ground.
Just 2 goals for the season so far, Riley West, but he can find the big sticks. West set shot is on the way from the pocket. The tightest of angles is no worries. Riley West threads the needle. He gets his first. The Dogs have 4 and they have the lead. 4 straight 24. Fremantle 3 straight 18. We've played 22 minutes in the first term. Before we hear from our experts up here in the ABC Sport commentary box, Bridget Lacey is on the boundary. Bridge.
Yeah, some relief for Fremantle. Sam Darcy's just come to the bench for his first break of the match. He's obviously super fit to be able to be in the action that much in the forward line and in the ruck, and only now come to the bench.
Just the 8 disposals for Sam Darcy, leading all comers alongside Riley Sanders.
Terrible start. Elite finish, wasn't it? Poor defence by Fremantle. Ball left the area. No swivel head. Didn't locate opponent. Just sat out there all by himself and punished him.
As you say, top shelf finish from Riley West. Dogs by a goal. Jackson wins the restart for the Dockers. Thumping it forward. Ricochets off legs. Comes back through the middle of the ground. Kennedy. Now to Fraser. Kicks towards left half forward. Here's West again. Marking 52 out from goal at left half forward for the Bulldogs. Spears it inside forward 50. Norton was waiting. Chapman got a hand on it. Spilled down to Pearce. Got it back to Chapman under real pressure. Hand pass came to Clark. Umpire spotted a free kick. Clark will have it in his defensive goal square. Takes a couple of steps and then goes beyond defensive 50 into the shadows at right half back. Tracy stretches, can't mark, and then tracks it towards the boundary line. It's over for another throw in.
If Fremantle could get some control, that would be well advised, just to take a bit of the air out of this game, get a few possessions into a few players and try and get to quarter time to reassess.
Sanders and Darcy still leading the way for the Dogs with 8 disposals apiece from the restart. It's been held in. Umpire will ball it up again. It was Sarong who was tackled to the deck. Taking him down then was Kennedy. Will ball it up at left half forward for the Bulldogs. English with the more telling tap. Gathered by Sarong. There's a free kick for a holding decision going the way of the Bulldogs. It'll come back to Liberatore.
Yeah, Amira sweating on him at stoppage.
Pauses for a minute. Puts it into the left forward pocket. He wanted Norton. Couldn't mark. Spills down to Harms. Ran into 2 Dockers. Got a hand pass back that's then taken over the boundary line. 45 out from the Bulldogs attacking goal in the left forward pocket. The Dogs lead by a goal. 4 straight 24 to the Dockers. 3 straight 18. 25 gone in the opening term at Perth Stadium. It's the Saints by 16 points. 4 minutes gone in the final term at Adelaide Oval against Port.
Jackson won the hit out, couldn't find a teammate. Coming through Richards on hands and knees for the Dogs. They work it away, trying to find a clean target. Tackled under pressure was Kennedy. He dropped the ball. Umpire said play on. Ball still bobbling around inside the Dogs' forward line as Richards had a headlock on him from Pearce. Umpire said it was okay, and now the Dockers through Sharp are able to clear to the southern side, but Bailey Williams is there to take the mark. They've got it locked in their front half for the time being, the Dogs. As Williams retreats, goes back by foot to Jones, and now Oscar Baker has it at true centre half back for the Dogs. They've gone from one side of the ground to the other. Karmas short to Fraser on the broadcast wing. Just controlling the football for the moment. 45 kick inside to Williams, takes the mark, plays on from the logo, kicks towards half forward, in front Chapman, and West reached over the top of the shoulder. The free kick was paid. There's the daring kick from Freo. Chapman goes inside the centre square to Dudley, then to Sarong, over the top to Banfield. Bolton is streaming forward, he gets out the back and he takes the mark. There was pressure coming from Liam Jones late. Isaac Rankin, eat your heart out. That one was paid. It wasn't too dissimilar in what played out yesterday at Carrara. Bolton will have the set shot from the left forward pocket and a chance to kick his second. Quick stuff from the Dockers.
Outstanding ball movement. They found corridor. They moved the ball quickly, and Shea Bolton, goal side, good luck.
He'll go around the corner. Kicked his first goal in purple a moment ago, and this time he doesn't bend it around enough. It's a minus score. The first of the day. 3-1-19 the Dockers, 4 straight 24 the Dogs, 27 gone in the first.
They mess around the Bulldogs. Quickly to Baker in the right back pocket. Very short to Bramble. Immediately has to play on. Fans thought it wasn't 15. Kicks towards centre wing outer side. Umpire spots a free kick to the Bulldogs here.
Against Pearson O'Donnell.
Speaking of sons of guns, there's another one for the Bulldogs, but for cricket sense, and St Kilda as well. James O'Donnell, son of Simon, goes back to Baker, looking like a 1970s tennis player. The long hair and the headband, the white headband. It comes to Karmas, and the kick was meant for Williams, who needed to take it cleanly, fumbled it and then dropped it over the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in. Left half back for the Bulldogs.
You mentioned Simon O'Donnell. Read today, had 2 hole-in-ones in the same round of golf on April 1st this week.
Did he?
Yep.
Not an April Fool's joke?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. Kennedy got tackled by the opposite 8 after it came down to Brayshaw. Brayshaw got it back immediately under pressure from Davidson. Almost pulled that back in, Brayshaw, but the umpire says no, we'll ball it up instead.
Disposals are a 108 to 56.
The inside 50 is also 18 to 6.
Haven't capitalised quite yet, the Dogs.
English palmed it down. Davidson picks it up for the Bulldogs. Got a hand pass back, and then Sarong was strong, bumping into Fraser. Seeing the ball and Fraser over the boundary line for another throw in. It's still at right half forward for the Fremantle Dockers. Shea Bolton stands at full forward. Baker's alongside him. The Bulldogs lead by 5 points. Nearly 29 minutes gone in the opening term. ABC Sport.
Jackson v English. Ball tapped down. Richards there for the Dogs, trying to find his way through on hands and knees. Had to contend with Frederick and couldn't get away. We'll have another ball up now. Between wing and half forward. English in front. Jackson reached over the top. Tapped it towards Luke Ryan. Got it away to Banfield. Sold a little bit of foot candy. So dangerous in that situation. Kicks inside 50. Bolton flew high. Dropped it. Would have been mark of the year. The Dockers gather. Handball out to Frederick. He gets his second. Bolton almost took mark of the year. It didn't matter. Frederick was clinical around the corner. Fremantle get their 4th. I try and regain my composure after what I just saw. 4-1-25 the Dockers, 4 straight 24 the Bulldogs. Fremantle back in front. That was a huge leap from the former mark of the year winner.
It was eerily reminiscent of that mark as well if he had have taken it, and he'd be ruining the ball slipping through his fingers, because that was mark of the year. Michael Fredericks had a good start to the game, and a wonderful handball from Murphy Reid that released Fremantle players into space.
It's a scintillating saw from Bolton, and he had hands on it as well. Just couldn't complete the grab.
He got his knee up on Rory Lobb's shoulders.
Yeah.
He's 207 centimetres tall.
That's no mean feat getting up there. From the restart, Dockers will look to bring it away. Sarong, Forslick hand pass backwards. Going by Wagner. Kicks inside forward 50 for the Dockers. Tracy couldn't mark. Reid, again, a beautiful hand pass to Voss. Can he convert? No! It was there for him. 30 metres out, slight angle to the left-hand side. Paddy Voss put himself in the right spot. Couldn't take the chance. 4-2-26 to 4 straight 24. Dockers over the Dogs 31 minutes into the opening term.
The murmurs were there, Peter Bell, around the ground as Dale plays on. Out of full back for the Dogs. Kicks up to the wing, and once again, Darcy is just too big in the front position. Took the mark, went short and wide. Too short to Baker. Forced to play on. Tries to run away from Bolton. Kicks it up the wing, going back with the fly with some courage is Cox. He takes the mark. Slapped away, but the umpire pays it. Just backward of centre wing on this broadcast side. He handballs off to Ryan. Kick up towards half forward. It's off hands. Darcy, handball, tried to get it to Liberatore. Was crashed into by O'Meara, who then jumped on top of the Dogs player at the bottom in Dale. Sat on top of his back and illegally, said the umpire, as Dale goes wide and Baker takes the mark. Two headbands, Baker and Murphy, standing side by side.
Got the right colours for the jumpers too. Murphy, Reid in the dark and Baker in the light. Kick towards left half forward. He's another headbanded player in Norton, who was infringed in the marking contest, was he? No, it's going to come back instead to Fraser. Or rather, third time lucky, O'Donnell. O'Donnell will have it. He'll put it into the left forward pocket, and then going up and dropping the mark, looking into the sun, was Ryan as the siren sounds for quarter time. And the Dockers find themselves in front, albeit by 2 behinds, in what was a hugely entertaining game to watch so far. Not sure the coaches would be as thrilled, but for those watching on, what a cracker it's been. Some outrageously good goals, almost mark of the year. A lot to like from the first quarter. 4-2-26 the Dockers, 4 straight 24 the Bulldogs. The goal kickers for Fremantle, Michael Fredericks got a couple. Shane Bolton with his first in purple and Luke Jackson the other. For the Western Bulldogs, 2 to Sam Darcy and singles to Riley Sanders and to Riley West. Just a quick update for you. Port are coming back in a big way in Adelaide Oval. The Saints, with 12 minutes gone in the final term, are 11-9-75. Port back to within 9 points, 9-12-66. So they're certainly fighting back at the moment. Port Adelaide, early stages or early to mid stages of that final term. St Kilda hanging on right now to a 9-point lead. Here, though, at Perth Stadium in the final game of round 4, the Dockers hosting the Bulldogs. It's the Dockers by 2 points at quarter time. Wherever you're listening on ABC Radio, Sport Digital, News Radio and streaming on the ABC Listen app, look for the AFL button. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
The news is moving fast. I'm going to dive right in.
The brand new season of The Weekly.
The news will cushion my landing, right?
Wednesday nights on ABC TV and ABC iView.
Nailed it.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Norton sends it quickly to the right forward pocket. Darcy is able to beat Alex Pearce in the one-on-one. He marks deep in the right forward pocket. He'll put boots of ball from about 45 metres out. 21 years of age. A superstar this young man could turn out to be. Here he comes. Darcy for the Bulldogs. Kicks on its way. Brings the Dogs fans to their feet at the Farmer Freeway end of Perth Stadium. They're on the board with a goal in the opening 2 minutes.
Back in the middle, bounce, favour Jackson a little, managed to get it towards Sarong. Now Brayshaw in game 150, spins, kicks towards half-forward. Frederick going back, takes a lovely mark, plays on, immediately runs in on goal and answers straight back to the Dockers.
Tracy bumps it long inside forward 50. No one can take the mark. Jackson tapped into his own advantage, tries to get through to it, sockers it off the ground, kicks the goal. Sheer willpower for Jackson.
Norton kicking a half from home, goes short to the leading target of Darcy, and that is just part of what he can do. He started it all in the ruck, and he's on the end of it now. Have a set shot from about 45 metres out directly in front. Darcy kicks, and for a man of incredible height, he continues to grow in front of our eyes. Sam Darcy has 2 goals to his name. Banfield sold a little bit of foot candy, so dangerous in that situation. Kicks inside 50, bolts it, flew high, drops it. Would have been mark of the year. The Dockers gather, handball out to Frederick. He gets his second. Bolton almost took mark of the year. It didn't matter. Frederick was clinical around the corner. Fremantle get their 4th.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
One game completed so far on Sunday footy. That was the Giants' big winners over the West Coast Eagles by 81 points. Jesse Hogan kicked 9 for the Giants. The game still continues at Adelaide Oval between Port and St Kilda. The Saints have edged a bit further away. They're up by 11 points now, 16 gone into the final term. And what a cracker to watch we've got here in front of us in the ABC Sport Box at Perth Stadium. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're listening. The Dockers lead the Dogs by 2 points. Let's get the thoughts of our experts. Brownlow medalist Shane Woden, dual premiership player Peter Bell.
Unbelievable game, and if it continues in this manner, what a spectacle it's going to be. Fremantle have the lead, but they would be concerned that they're conceding. Bulldogs are starting contested possessions in clearances. They're minus 11 for inside 50s, and the Bulldogs controlling the footy at the moment, 117 disposals to 68. That's not sustainable for Fremantle. At the moment, they've been good enough on turnover to punish the Bulldogs, but if that model continues, you'd worry about Fremantle's ability to stay in the match, Wowie.
Yeah, so you made a call earlier, Belly, that Freo wouldn't be happy with the up and back. They wanted more control, so a little bit more kick mark that JL would probably be wanting.
Well, that's what they would usually want. It's been interesting today that they've actually been so damaging on the turnover, and in that chaos and turnover to turnover game with goals to Frederick, 2 of them, and Shea Bolton looking really, really dangerous, but I'm not sure if that can be sustained for 4 quarters, and it's looking more like a Bulldog style. And Sam Darcy, what a first quarter. 5 marks. I reckon probably 2 or 3 of those are contested as well already. He's just looking unstoppable.
Yeah, 3 inside 50 marks, 2. Dogs a bit disappointed, I reckon. Held territory for majority, ball played in front half, just unable to capitalise on the opportunities that presented. Plus 11 inside 50s and the scores and Freo's in front by 2 points, so they were able to capitalise with limited opportunities going forward.
And while they do play that inside to outside and handball all around the place, look really dangerous, they also have on occasion kick mark a little bit, and I worry that Fremantle, if you have to defend that for long periods of time, it takes away your zapping offence as well. So that's why Fremantle really need to have some periods in this second quarter where they're controlling the ball a little bit.
Certainly D50, Dogs defenders do look vulnerable when the ball's on the ground. Murphy, Reid, Bolton and the ground level players been really clean by themselves, and have created those opportunities too when the ball has hit the deck.
Just seeing the replay of Bolton's attempted mark. He got up too high. He had to reach down to about his knees to try and... He got up too high. The ball didn't get as high as he did, and he was trying to reach down low. That's how high he was.
Well, yeah, it was like that mark of the year, wasn't it? So he's put his knee on Rory Lobb's shoulder and then got a little boost as well, and then got propelled so high that, he's got to reach downwards to try and mark the ball. It was an extraordinary feat of athleticism.
Just some stats before we jump into the second quarter. Individually, Sam Darcy, as mentioned, has 10 touches. A number of Dogs with 8. Bailey Dale, Tom Liberatore, Riley Sanders, Matt Kennedy and Oscar Baker. For the Dockers, Jordan Clark has 8. And then Chapman, Ryan O'Meara and Jackson on 5. The inside 50 count, 19-8 the way of the Dogs. The clearances, 11-8 their way as well. And Fremantle lead the tackle count 14-8. So there's some of the key numbers. The contested possession, 41-30 the Dogs' way as well.
Third goal to Mitch Georgiades. The West Aussie for Port Adelaide has Port within 5 points 18 minutes gone in the final term at Adelaide Oval. The Saints 11-11-77. Port now 10-12-72. Still time for both clubs there. The Saints to hang on, Port to find a way in front. So that's ended up being an absolute ripper. This game here in front of us has begun as a beauty as well. 4-2, 26 to 4, straight 24. Jackson stares across. Another West Aussie, originally from South Fremantle in Tim English. About to get that second term underway. Hopefully it's as good to watch as the first. The Dockers and the Dogs. Second quarter on ABC Sport. Good bounce of the footy. The Rucks go at it. Jackson got the fingertip touchdown, followed it up and picked it up as well. Tackled strongly by Liberatore. That's a ripping tackle. And he wins the free kick for the Bulldogs. Plays on by hand to Dale, running behind. Ugly kick. Bounces its way forward. Got it to Kennedy, back to Dale. Kicks in the direction of English. Great effort from Draper. Coming back with the flight of the football. Won it down. Pearce hand pass straight into the chest of English. Spills out to Vandermeer. Was able to work it on. The kick's up into the air towards full forward. It's off the chest of Clark and across the boundary line for a throw-in. It was Dolan who threw the ball on the boot to send it towards full forward for the Bulldogs. Minor score, 1 point game. 4-1 plays 4-2. Dockers in front, opening 46 seconds of the second quarter.
Clark, short kick to Pearce, ran past and received it back by hand, and then his kick out to the wing. The southern side was nowhere near the intended target of Bailey Banfield as it rolled out of bounds. And we throw in. The sun still covering about half the ground. They're in the sun at the moment on that southern wing. Ball tossed back in over the head of English and Jackson. And the umpire spotted a free kick. It's going the way of the Dockers. Jackson took it straight away. Handballed to the run of Sarong. Kick up to the lead of Tracy. Just beyond half-board. Horrible kick trying to bring it back into the middle. Gave it straight to McNeil. Gave it off to his teammate for the Dogs in Fraser. Now to Richards. He likes to run. Tucks it under the arm. Kicks it inside the forward 50. And the kick never favoured his teammate in Vandermeer. Ryan took the mark, goes inside the middle of his own defensive 50, and Pearce, the captain, has it.
Plays on by hand, back to Ryan, the orange boots, kicks beyond defensive 50. Banfield, troubled by the sun, couldn't mark, dragged it back in, hand pass off the deck to Johnson. Chance to go forward here, the Dockers. Comes to Amos. Marks about 70 from goal. He's got players on inside forward 50. Instead, bounces a kick to Voss, who can't control it. It ricochets away from him around about knee level and goes across the boundary line for a throw-in. Frederick wanted it. Dudley wanted it. Instead, two options.
Would have preferred he just wheeled onto his left foot and got it in deep there, I reckon.
Throw-in, 55 out from Freo's attacking goal. Farmer Freeway end, one down by Jackson. Rode beautifully by Brayshaw. Got a hand pass to Johnson and he spills it across the boundary line again at right half forward. Another throw in.
Spilt handball there. Poor kick to Voss, I think it was a moment ago. They're the sorts of opportunities that Fremantle need to be better at.
3 minutes gone. Second term. Dockers by 1 point over the Western Bulldogs. ABC Sport here at Perth Stadium.
Jackson, the English to the front. Samson down. Kennedy trying to get a kick away. Was pulled off it. Liberatore just hacked it out of there. So too did Fraser. Sockers it up the wing. Draper out to meet it for the Dockers. Did well to trap the ball. Get it to Banfield. Underground handball. Set Brayshaw. Its task was pretty clean though. Got it to Wagner. Now to Johnson by hand. Jackson. Short kick inside the 50. Tracy on the lead. Presents and takes the mark on the chest. We'll go back, have a set shot from about 45 metres out, about a 45-degree angle to the right.
Take a bow, Josh Draper. Just a really good ground ball off half-back. He made it his own, and then Fremantle were able to handball chain all the way through the corridor, and a lovely kick, Luke Jackson and Josh Tracy.
8 goals for the season so far. Josh Tracy, normally a very good set shot. He does not disappoint. Tracy has his first goal of the day. The Dockers out to a 7-point lead, 5-2-32 Fremantle. The Western Bulldogs are 4-1-25. It's a 7-point margin. Just a few minutes, 4 minutes into this second term at Perth Stadium. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Peter Bell and Shane Woewodin our experts.
Yeah, unbelievable use of hands out of congestion. You know, and then finish off by Jackson inside 50. Effective. It's part of their game, Belly, I reckon, in the last 12 to 18 months, which has really elevated their hands from stoppage or from congestion, and get forward and be really dominant in that area.
No, you're 100% right. Those forward handballs, that's what looks really dangerous, and they want to try and eliminate the backwards handballs, which invites pressure, but that was sensational play.
2 quick goals for the Saints. The last at Lance Collard. See them go out to a 17-point lead as quickly Bulldogs inside forward 50. Trying to work it away here. Norton picked up by Cox at fullback, gave it to Wagner, then to Banfield, juggled by Sarong, but did well to Jackson by hand. Now to Bolton, got a hand pass beyond defensive 50 to O'Driscoll, back to Bolton. Gee, they've worked that well. Freo, 2 bounces, a third from Bolton. Sweeps a hand pass forward, picked up by Banfield down low. Back to O'Driscoll, has the backtrack. Still got around from Baker. Baker continued to apply the pressure and he gets him. Great tackle, Baker. Just like it looked like O'Driscoll was going to get away, Baker did not give up and he wins the free kick for the Bulldogs. Goes back to Bramble at left half back and steers it inboard. Fraser wasn't able to take the mark. Gathering it, Tracy hands it off to O'Meara, met by Lob. The lobster got him, put the big claws around him and took him to ground. Free kick for the Bulldogs. Lob inside his defensive 50. No change to that score. The Dockers 5-2-32. The Bulldogs 4-1-25. 6 gone in the second term.
Lob wide to Baker, then inboard by foot to Liberatsore, backward of the wing.
Great come forward to defend by Lob.
He's started pretty well, has Rory Lobb. Kick from Liberatsore up towards the lead of Norton in front of Draper. Couldn't take the mark as the ball bobbles out on the southern side of the ground. Clint?
By the way, 25 minutes gone that time at Adelaide Oval. 26 now, it's just ticked over. In the final quarter, the Saints lead 17 points, 13-11 to 10-12 over Port.
Jackson v English, South Fremantle v East Fremantle, a derby in the ruck. Ball comes down, O'Driscoll couldn't gather. Davidson for the Dogs was tackled, harassed by Johnson. Umpire let the play go on. Now Bramble's tackled, ball comes out to McNeil, into Davidson, short to Sanders. Now Kennedy running past, delivers inside forward 50 and getting space and taking the mark. He's the biggest target of them all in Sam Darcy. Fremantle fans not happy, but Darcy's got a crack at his third.
Fremantle players not happy as well. They were remonstrating with the umpire around 2 holding the ball decisions or non-decisions, as it were, and that is, well, you can't defend that kind of ball movement. There's nothing Alex Pearce could do. Such was the level of kick from Matt Kennedy.
He's finding plenty of the ball, Sam Darcy. This is his first touch in the second term. Directly in front, Darcy.
This.
He's just always on. Straight through the middle, and now he's got 3 goals. He's causing early headaches for the Fremantle Dockers. They draw back within 1, the Western Bulldogs. 5-1-31 they are. The Dockers are 5-2-32. We're playing almost 8 minutes in the second term. Mitch Turner here alongside Clint Wield and our experts, Brownlow medalist Shane Woden, dual premiership player Peter Bell.
Yeah, a couple of Freo boys stopped when those decisions weren't paid, and they're able to chain it out effectively, the Dogs.
They just want to keep the ball alive at all costs, the Bulldogs. And you're right, Fremantle players stopped, arguing with the umpire. The play was going on around them.
It was Luke Beveridge this week. He said he didn't know what a tackle was, and it's a good example just there. But it's gone his way. Certainly looked like a holding the ball decision against the Bulldogs on that southern wing. I don't care though. Here's English, wins it down, bounce back to him, kicks up into the air. One can take a mark. Taken down by Sanders. Richards tries to steal it away against Luke Ryan. It's been locked in. Ball up the call. Just shy of the attacking edge of the centre square for the Western Bulldogs.
Draper onto Darcy. Alex Pearce has been moved off him.
Jackson with the more telling tap down. It came to Kennedy. Great smother Bolton. Kennedy a second time. Socketed inside forward 50. Ryan stood in the way though. Clears it out towards Dudley. Marking shy of the wing. Commentary side of the ground. Could go short for Freo if he wanted to O'Driscoll. That's ignored. Instead, he'll go in Towards the middle of the ground again to Chapman, marking just in front of the defensive edge of the centre square. Left half back. He'll move it again to O'Meara, who marks. Freo by a point. O'Meara stabs it to Clark. Just on the commentary edge. The centre square. A little bit shy of the logo. The kick goes in the direction of O'Driscoll. Had to stand there. Oncoming traffic from Harms. Mark wasn't paid. Might have been tackled without the football. That won't make the locals happy as Dale got it away to Kennedy. Long kick down the line. It's spilt by Vandermeer. Had time to gather again. Spears it inside forward 50. Hoping for a lead there of O'Donnell. Chapman did well to get in the way, and he'll switch play out to the right back pocket.
Sharp there to take the mark. Wants to bring it back towards the corridor. Does so inboard to Murphy Reid. Looking for a target. The lead comes up the wing from Tracy. Still a long way from the scoring position. He's on centre wing on the southern side of Perth Stadium. Nothing up ahead. Switches all the way back to centre half back. Draper takes the mark. Now chips it into the middle of the centre square to Chapman. They're trying to find a way through the Dockers. Chapman brings it out to the broadcast wing. O'Driscoll takes the mark. Gets a little cheer. Fans thought he should have got a free kick before. He plays on. Kicks it towards Bolton, who flew over the top. Couldn't take the mark. Kennedy there for the Dogs. Looping handball. Went straight to Frederick. Tapped it down to Dudley. Kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Here come the boos. Lobb takes the intercept mark. He goes wide out to the left back pocket into the path. Liberatore had plenty of time to gather, steady and go short to Davidson, who's having a nice little start to his career. Disposal number 7. So he kicks it up the wing, and it's not a great kick. It just gets over the head. The outstretched arm of the Freo defender in Ryan. It falls down to Alex Pearce. Handball inboard to Sarong. His kick chopped off by Fraser. Just punched it up in the air. O'Meara, he was dispossessed. Fraser won it back for the Dogs. Over the top to McNeil. Kick towards the right half forward. It's a foot race on. Dogs have the numbers out in front. Harms gathers, tucks up against the boundary line. Oh, don't tell me! James Harms from the paints of the right forward pocket with the drop punt has put his hand up and put his nomination in for a goal of the year contender. That's a terrific finish by the former Demon. And it gives the Bulldogs the lead. 6-1-37 the Dogs, 5-2-32 the Dockers. A 5-point margin, 12 minutes into the second. What a finish from James Harms.
Yeah, top shelf. Don't see Caleb Sarong make too many mistakes.
That kick inboard, turnover kick, yep.
Yeah, it cost him dearly. You only have to be a millimetre off, which that was. Lib was able to get a fist in and spoil the ball, bring it to ground, and away they went. But
there's been a couple for Fremantle, Josh Tracy early in the match as well. And the O'Driscoll kick inside 50 and going a while back, that's not the right entry for Fremantle either.
St Kilda have won a third straight game, getting home over Port by 17 points at Adelaide Oval. There's a free kick in the middle from the restart, going the way of Darcy for the Bulldogs. He'll kick short, low, flat and hard. Dolan has to knock it out. Found Harms, the most recent goal kicker. Back to Richards. Kicks back inside forward 50 for the Bulldogs, and that's well read. Cox up against Norton, takes the mark at full back. He moves it into the right back pocket for the Dockers to Ryan. He'll stand on the very edge of the boundary line. Right full back. He gets told to move it on. Puts it back into the goal square for Draper. Bulldogs lead by 5 points, 13 gone in the second turn. Draper will go short, just long enough to be a mark. Comes to Chapman. They can't get beyond their defensive 50 at the moment, Freo. Not a lot of space in front. Chapman will go on a run. Kicks with the right towards the logo commentary wing. Big pack up, no mark taken. Ball spills around. Voss got a hand pass out for the Dockers. O'Meara couldn't take it cleanly. Lobb's hand pass knocked forward. Came out towards Brayshaw though. Tried to get it to O'Driscoll. Harms provides pressure. O'Driscoll knocked it along the ground. What will the umpire say here? Surely it's a ball in. No! Against O'Driscoll, it's gone to Harms for out of bounds or insufficient intent. Goodness me. Anyway, Harms has gone short. Stabs it. He's able to find O'Donnell, who's stepped off his mark, so he has to play on. Kicks inside forward 50. Chapman attacked the football, couldn't mark. Draper at the drop, gave it back to Chapman for the Dockers. They're away here, Freo through the middle, through Bolton.
Takes a bounce, Bolton delays the handball to Frederick, then misses him. Put it at his bootlaces. They had players out everywhere, the Dockers. The Dogs win it back. Karmas, handball over the top. Outside 50, going into the pocket, the Dogs. Norton can't take the mark. Pearce got there to chop it off, and Voss professionally fumbles it over the line. They just missed the last handball, the Dockers. It's a minus score to the Dogs, 6-2-38, the visitors. The home side, Fremantle, 5-2-32, margin 6 points.
It hurts, doesn't it? And you're out.
Here goes Clark with the kicking duties, long towards right half back. Garman's brought it to ground. Scooped up here by Sharp. Now with Bolton through the logo, hands it off to Brayshaw, the 150 gamer in the direction of Amos. Jones got there last minute, was able to affect the spoil. Dockers fans wanted front on contact, not to be. Liam Jones is able to move it again to O'Donnell, then to Davidson for the Bulldogs. Pops it short to Sanders, hands it over the top to Vandermeer. Just shy of left half forward, kicks in the direction of Norton. They've got players on in the left forward pocket. It's West. It goes in his direction. Chapman's done well to spoil. Knocks it away from him and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
They're going to play the whistle, though, Fremantle as well.
Yeah, they do.
They're expecting free kicks to be paid. O'Driscoll's had one. Jai Amos thought he was getting a free kick then, but the ball was still in play. Play the whistle.
Dogs had Darcy on in the middle of the 50 then too, and didn't go to him. Balled Sauce back in. O'Donnell does the ruck work for the Dogs. Sanders in tight to the boundary. Tried to find West. Chapman's over the top of it for Fremantle. Then Richards comes in and can't keep it in ball. The jeers come from the Dockers fans appealing for an insufficient intent. They won't get it. It wasn't there.
They'll ask for it all the time now after that previous one, though.
I reckon they will. Ball's spun back in. Voss doing the ruck work against O'Donnell. He robed his own work as well. Handballed out in front of Brayshaw. Running away from Richards. Kicks up to the wing. Good measured kick. Finds Dudley. Dockers had a lot of numbers back. Now they start to stream forward. The second gamer's looking for an option. Has to go laterally towards centre wing and finds Johnson.
It's really well defended by the Bulldogs then.
Johnson goes back to where Dudley was, but instead now it's O'Driscoll who spilt the mark. His kick inboard, it's not a great one. It's over the head of Brayshaw. Taken by Frederick, though. Very measured kick. Inboard to Bolton. He wanted to go quick to get it onto Amos deep. He was held up, and instead he goes laterally inside the forward 50, and he finds Tracy in space for the set shot from what'll be outside 50.
Jeez, they protected the corridor really well then, the Dogs. And I think it was Williams. He just got caught. I didn't quite see the flight of the ball and got nudged under it to create this opportunity.
They're only get down by a goal, the Dockers, but you feel like they need this to wrestle back some momentum. Tracy from the paint of 50 strikes it well, but it drifts away to the right, and it's a minus score. 5-3-33 Fremantle. Western Bulldogs 6-2-38. Clint Wilden.
5 points the difference. Bring it back in quickly. Dale into the right back pocket to Williams. Now to Kennedy. On the run, English. Hand pass for Vandermeer at his bootlaces. Under pressure. Turned it over. Moved to Sharp, then to Sarong. Now to Banfield for the Dockers. Hands it off again to Brayshaw. Short to Murphy Reid in space at left half forward. He'll kick deep into the left forward pocket. The run was there from Frederick. It was honoured. He takes the mark. Reid wanted it back. Was heading towards the middle of the forward 50. Frederick says, nope, I've got a couple to my name. I fancy my chances.
And a few handballs have missed the target today. And one for Vandermeer just fell short of him. Couldn't quite control it. Forced the turnover.
Frederick is going to bring it around the body. No wonder he hung on to it. That's a sensational goal. He's got 3. It's as many as he had in the season so far. It's how many he's got today. Michael Frederick, sensational. And that puts Freo back in front by 1. And the Dockers are 6-3-39. The Bulldogs 6-2-38. 19 gone in the second term. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. Our experts, Peter Bell and Shane Woden.
The difference a good ball user makes. Murphy Reid had a good look at the entire forward 50 and got it over the top. Again, Bailey Dale couldn't defend that. Michael Frederick kicks his third. Just crucial, those inside 50 kicks, and Murphy Reid is very good at it.
Michael Frederick having an early day out, but it's felt like it's been going the Dogs' way. They needed one against the Tide there, Fremantle, and they got it. Ball bounced in the middle. English taps it down. First one onto it, though, Sarong for the Dockers. Nice little clever handball inside to Jackson. He goes back towards Johnson, just trying to parry it to Brayshaw. Eventually gathered it. Handball back to Clark, who kicks it long inside the forward 50. Lob can't mark. It spills to Dudley. He's so deadly. He's bringing some excitement to the Dockers. Messiah Dudley gets his first goal of the day and the third goal of his young career in Game 2. Fremantle go bang bang. 7-3-45 the Dockers, 6-2-38 the Bulldogs. Margin is 7 points, 20 minutes gone in the second term. Brownlow medalist Shane Woden, dual premiership player Peter Bell, our experts here in the ABC Sport Box.
Yeah, Clark's inside 50 just penetrated, went over the top. He's quick hand to foot, isn't he?
He is. I'm smiling because, like last week, it was about 3 metres off his boot, and he'd already knew that's a goal, and he started to celebrate with the crowd. Exceptional skill, and I love what Fremantle were trying to do there, just out the front of the stoppage through a handball chain.
Back-to-back goals for the first time today for the Dockers. One down by Jackson. They'll get the clearance again to Sarong, to Johnson. Johnson takes a bounce, runs away from his opponent, sends it towards full forward. Banfield brought it to ground. Reid overran it. Lobb picked it up for the Dogs. Came towards Davidson, tackled by O'Driscoll, ball spilled out, umpire says, holding the ball. Big dramatic pause as the umpires all looked at each other as if to go, who's going to call it? And we'll be able to see the Dockers with a shot at goal. It's a tightish angle in the left forward pocket, and O'Driscoll will put boots of ball from about 35.
Yeah, Davidson was caught unawares from O'Driscoll, the other winger coming into pressure, and didn't get a legal disposal.
Nathan O'Driscoll on his way in, he's gone narrow, misses to the left. A minor score, 7-4-46 Fremantle. The Western Bulldogs 6-2-38, 22 gone in the second term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden alongside this man, Mitch Turner, in commentary.
You thought he might have got a handball there as well, Shane Woden?
Yeah, just before.
Or knocked out in the tackle, maybe?
Yeah, made an attempt.
There has been other decisions today that haven't been paid holding the ball that seemed a bit
blindsided
more than young Davidson. We've got a blood rule, I believe. Is it? That's what's happening. The umpires aren't holding up the crossed arms to the blood rules at the moment, so I'm assuming that is Jai Amos slowly coming to the bench because they are waiting, and now he is off the field, and they will restart. So that must have been it. We'll wait for Bridget Lacey to give us an update on that, but eventually the Dogs can bring it in. Karma stepped off his line, was forced to play on, had to give it back to a teammate in Bramble, who went up the wing and found Harms. He's already kicked a nice goal today, kicks it over the top to McNeil, went back with courage, was crunched by Ryan, who affected the spoil. Clark did the crumbing, gave it straight back to the Dogs zone. McNeil gathers now, was straight back to his feet, his kick towards the goal face, kept in by O'Donnell, taken over the line by Pearce. Rush behind, 6-3-39 the Dogs, 7-4-46 the Dockers. Bridget Lacey downstairs.
Yeah, the Dogs just patching up Jai Amos's left arm with a fair bit of blood coming out of it.
Neil knew that was coming, didn't he? Strong spoil by Ryan.
Brennan Cox puts it back into play. Jackson in the middle of the pack, couldn't mark. Spilled down though. Chance to move forward through Murphy Reid. Then to Brayshaw to bounce back to Brayshaw. There's a player for the Dockers all on his own. It's Tracy. He marks, he turns. He can stroll into goal. They've kicked 3 unanswered. Tracy's got his second. The Dockers have their 8-4-52. So the Bulldogs 6-3-39. It's the biggest lead of the game so far. The Dockers out to a 13-point advantage at the 24-minute mark of the second term.
Well, the value of a long down the line win. Fremantle got it out the back. Murphy Reid involved, Pat Voss involved, Andy Brayshaw involved twice, and Josh Tracy kicks the easiest of goals. That was a hot knife through butter from Fremantle.
And you were a little critical of Andy last week. He kicked one inside 50 to Amos and he didn't allow him to run on. He got it right on that occasion, Peter Bell. So
yeah, good pick up, and well done to Andy. He's winning a lot of ball, but they're the types of things that make you really damaging as a mid. Performing at an elite level already, he'll go to the right up to the top with just a marginally better ball use, such as what he's done today.
It's game 150 for Brayshaw. He's got a fairest and best. He's got an All-Australian. He's got an MVP, a Lee Matthews trophy, and there he is in the middle, feeding it out to Sarong. Handball's a bit hot to Reid, was able to go back and gather, get it back to Sarong, who chisels one low, bounces off the chest at half forward of Frederick. Baker gathered it for the Dogs, got it short to Harms, who went even shorter to Sanders. Now chips it back inboard to Baker, takes a run down the wing. Tried to handball it back to Sanders. It was read beautifully by Luke Ryan, who chopped it off, kicked it inside forward 50, and Bolton. Well, it's tough on the Dogs with a quick turnover, and Bolton got free, takes the mark, and looks like he's going to back himself in the set shot. Kick from about 50 metres out, tight angle to the right.
Luke Ryan's having a good game. Intercept Oscar Baker. We saw him with a big spoil moments earlier, and a lovely kick to Bolton. Gee, Fremantle would love this goal.
He's got one goal already, a dropped mark of the year attempt. He's finding a bit of the ball. Shea Bolton. Kick is across the face. Big pack flies. Tracy got a fist to it. It comes down. The Dogs have got the numbers. Tracy went back in. Is tackled by Richards. We'll have a ball up. Bridget Lacey quickly downstairs.
Yeah, Harvey Gallagher's been injected for the Western Bulldogs, the sub, so just working out who they're taking out of the game.
Thrown up again. English won it down. Stolen there by Banfield. Couldn't believe his luck. And he smashed it through for a fourth unanswered goal for the Fremantle Dockers. Dangerous around the contest. Bailey Banfield gives the Dockers their ninth. Wow, they've split this game open in the last 6 or so minutes. The Dockers move to be 9-4-58 to the Western Bulldogs 6-3-39. Freo's lead out to 19 points.
He was allowed to run unimpeded through the contest. Not sure who his direct opponent was, Bailey Banfield, who has this knack of just popping up. Vital goal for Freo.
It's poor defensive and a D50 stoppage by the Dogs mids, half-backs.
Well, number one, to give Banfield that space, but also to have a breakdown where there's no one between the contest and the goal.
Bridget Lacey downstairs.
Yeah, confirmation the Western Bulldogs. Lathan Vandermeer is the man who's come out with some knee soreness, and Harvey Gallagher into the game.
He's had a pretty good start to the year. Lathan Vandermeer, that's a bit of a blow to the Dogs. English gets the tap, falling backwards was Kennedy, couldn't take possession. Now he goes back in, was clean below his knees, got it to his ruckman in English, who kicks it inside the forward 50. Cox knocks it away from Norton. Pearce did the roving and got it away to Luke Ryan, who kicks it out in front of Sarong and English. English won the battle. Inboard to the sub. Gallagher immediately involved. His handball to Fraser, who drills one inside 50, but it's marked by Chapman of the Dockers, who hit the ground and immediately went by foot to the broadcast wing. Banfield, the goal kicker from a moment ago, kicks looking for Amos. It's chopped off by Lobb. Couldn't take the mark. The crowd roars as he was taken to ground, but the Dogs, composed, managed to get it by hand to Jones. Kick up the wing off the hands of a pack. Johnson there for Fremantle. Handball to Wagner through traffic back to Johnson. Wanted to kick it back inside defensive 50. Instead gave it to Chapman, who loops the handball back to Cox. Just beyond left half back, kicks up the wing. Two Bulldogs go up. They spoil each other. West comes through, dives on top of it, then taps it away. Tried to find Richards. It was stolen by Johnson and Fremantle. Jackson, handball to Sarong. Now to O'Meara in the middle of Perth Stadium. O'Meara gets it back. His kick smothered. It'll make its way, though, on the bounce to Sharp, who settles himself, and Karmas comes across and did well to spoil away from Tracy. Out of bounds at the right half forward 50 junction for a boundary throw in. The Dockers up by 19.
Just look like they're winning the critical contests at the moment, Fremantle. They've been relentless for the last 10 minutes and getting reward for it on the scoreboard.
Ball spun back into play. Jackson palmed it down. Oh, here's Sarong for the Dockers. Bouncing onto it, wheeling around, kicking inside forward 50. Jones.
Free kick, Tracy.
Took the mark. Tracy will be given the free kick. Been infringed in the contests. Buku Karmas is the player who looks at the umpire as if to say, who, me? And Josh Tracy will be able to go back 45-degree angle to the right-hand side, and he'll kick from about 35 metres out.
Sarong really impacting the contest the last 10 minutes or so. Another clearance there and a lovely kick. Got a really good angle on it to give Tracy a chance.
Came into the side, Karmas, and locked his arms around Tracy before the ball was anywhere near him. Tracy's kick is on its way. He's missed. 9-5-59 the Dockers. 6-3-39 the Bulldogs. Just about gone 30 minutes in this second term.
A bit of fancy footwork from Bailey Williams to bring it out of defence. The kick was a good one to Norton, who spilt the mark. Subsequently, the Dockers have won it back. Jackson gives it to Wagner. The kick inside 450. Karmas completely lost it in the sun. Tracy came through and stole it. Gives it to the 150 gamer in Brayshaw. Kicks the goals. Arms outstretched. Slams the chest. And the Dockers come in number to celebrate with one of their leaders. Andy Brayshaw gets his moment in game 150. It came off the back of a horror moment for Buku Karmas, who just completely lost the ball in the Perth sun. Brayshaw pounced. 10-5-65 the Dockers, 6-3-39 the Bulldogs. Out of nowhere, they've broken this game open. The margin's 26 points. Peter Bell, Shane Woden, our experts for ABC Sport.
The part of the game that talking about with Brayshaw, the work rate's always been there, but he can get forward and kick goals like that. It just adds another dimension to his game. Fremantle are white hot right now.
Slap the chest, the middle of the jump up. Celebrating this milestone match for him. Clint Wilden alongside Mitch Turner. Peter Bell, Shane Woden, downstairs Bridget Lacey. The Dockers win the restart. Bolton gets the clearance, kicks towards right half forward. Baker's able to take, well, not the mark, but brought it to ground for the Bulldogs. Tapped in the direction, though, of Brayshaw, and he gave it off to Sharp, and then Sharp in the right forward pocket takes a shot at goal that sails through. 6 unanswered goals from the Fremantle Dockers. They're riding a purple wave right now. This game, which was right in the balance until about, let's say, 12 minutes ago, now has Fremantle lead by 32 points as we close in on half-time. 11-5-71 the Dockers, the Bulldogs 6-3-39, and it wasn't that long ago where the Bulldogs appeared to be controlling this game.
It dominated this quarter, Fremantle. I think they're only plus 2 or 3 inside 50s, but 7 goals to 2.
Yeah, Brayshaw involved again. Jeremy Sharp.
Good finish.
Was a sharp finish. And Shea Bolton out of the centre square has been influential as well. Thought he made the wrong decision initially. They got it right in the end.
I'm trying to keep up with my notes in my book, and I'm falling behind as ball back in the middle. Sarong trying to get it to a teammate. Couldn't, and the siren sounds to end the first half, one in which Fremantle finished it with 6 goals in a row to take the momentum into the major break. They lead the Dogs by 32 points, 11-5-71. The Bulldogs are 6-3-39. I think I've managed to keep up with it. I'm hoping Clint Wilden has, because that was a rapid fire at the end by the Dockers.
So it was a 2-point advantage to Fremantle at quarter time. It's a 32-point advantage to Fremantle at half-time. And they kicked goals in that quarter after the Bulldogs kicked the first 2 in the 8th and the 12th minute. Fremantle responded with goals in the 19th, the 20th, the 25th, the 27th, the 31st and the 33rd to lead 11-5-71 to 6-3-39. Michael Frederick has got 3 for the Dockers. Josh Tracy's got a couple. And singles to Brayshaw, Jackson, Sharp, Bolton, Banfield and Dudley. While for the Western Bulldogs, Sam Darcy has been impressive. He's got 3. Sanders, West and Harms, the other goal kickers for the Bulldogs. Big g'day to those who joined us here in this quarter. Around the rest of the nation from Victoria, SA and Tasmania, the Territory and on the AFL stream, there has been that much happening in this contest. It was goal for a long period of time, and now Fremantle have just said, this is ours, this is our deck, and we know how much we need to win this game of football to potentially go 2-2 in this season. 32 points, the Dockers lead. Let's get the thoughts of our experts here in the West. Dual premiership player Peter Bell, Brownlow medalist Shane Woden for ABC Sport.
Well, Fremantle started to wrest back some momentum early in that quarter and then just finished off with a total domination, really. They had field position, they put the Bulldogs players under immense pressure, and that handball chain, that offensive handball chain you identified, Wowie, was really to the fore, wasn't it? It was prevalent. Jackson involved. Brayshaw was really powerful late in that second quarter, kicked a goal and then set up Sharp for his goal as well. And now it's over to the Bulls. Now, can you respond? Luke Beveridge will have to throw the magnets around a little bit, but they were absolutely dominated for the last 15 minutes of that quarter.
Yeah, chalk and cheese, the two quarters. We thought the Dogs dominated the first quarter, really just weren't able to capitalise and score effectively. And pretty similar, they turned the tables, Fremantle. They got right on top, and I think they were plus 50 in disposal, Western Bulldogs, in that first quarter. But they've evened the ledger up now, and statistically across the ground it's pretty even. But going inside 50 and being more effective in their front half is where Freo have really smashed the Western Bulldogs in that second term. Not getting much out of Aaron Norton at all at the moment. So how they structure up their inside 50 and get him in the game, because he's done nothing. He hasn't delivered anything. He's just not the Norton that we know of, who can crash packs and have aerial dominance. It's left up to too few right now. It's only Darcy, who was very quiet that quarter.
It was a good move, wasn't it? They took Pearce off Darcy, and Josh Draper did a really good job in that second quarter. And just getting back, disposals aren't everything, but it was significant in the first quarter. The Bulldogs had 117 to Fremantle 68. At the half, it's 192, Fremantle 197. So, quick calculation, I think Fremantle had 124 to 80 in that second quarter. So, and that was a little bit controlled, but it was mainly just off the back of clearance, which they've got on rested back some momentum in, and that handball chain, which looks so dangerous, but exhilarating to watch. Yeah. It's some of Fremantle's best ever ball movement, I feel. And they still left a couple out there as well. Maybe you're looking for utopia, but, Josh Tracy missed a couple. There are a couple of others as well. I thought that, Jai Amos could have been hit one or two more times as well, but a lot to like about what Fremantle have done. Although, when you talk about ball movement, you also have to talk about defence, and I don't think the Bulldogs offered much in that last 15 or 20 minutes. Fremantle were right through them, and just there was very little resistance.
Yeah, when you put speed on the ball, they're hard to defend off turnover too, because you get caught out of position defensively. But again, as you said, Pelly, they're good players, rose to the occasion and started to really influence the stages of that quarter too, with Sarong and Brayshaw. Ryan down back.
Luke Ryan had a really good second quarter.
Yeah, just made a statement with a couple of contests for his teammates too. Clark starting to get on top and give a bit of bounce off half back. Real solid quarter by the Freo.
And he's just had the 6 disposals, but there was an intent about Josh Draper's game all of today. I liked the intensity with which he was coming into contests, and then the coaching staff at Fremantle have given him the big job on Sam Darcy. He had a couple of really good ground balls and come forwards, and he defended Darcy strongly and took the honours in that second quarter on a player whose confidence would have been sky high.
Thoughts of our experts on ABC Sport here on Sunday Footy. Peter Bell and Shane Woden. What a contest it was in the first quarter. Fremantle, as you heard, just taking it away from the Bulldogs in that second term. 6 unanswered goals for them to lead by 32 points at the major change. You've just joined us, wherever you've been, updating those scores from earlier today. The Giants by 81 points over the West Coast Eagles. Jesse Hogan kicking an equal career high 9 goals as the Giants ran away with that game in Western Sydney, while St Kilda made it 3 straight wins, beating Port Adelaide in Adelaide by 17 points, 13-11-89 to Port 10-12-72. The Power got back within 5 points late before the Saints steadied to take the points in that one. So for St Kilda, absolutely thrilled after what looked like it was going to be a tough start to the year, belted by Adelaide in Adelaide by 63 points. Since then, they've had wins over Geelong, Richmond and Port by 7 points, 82 points and 17 points, respectively. So the Saints moved to be 3-1. Put Adelaide, unfortunately, they're 1-3 with today's loss. Plenty more to talk about here. Fremantle against the Western Bulldogs, a game that means an awful lot in the context of the season for both of these clubs. There's still a half to come. What tricks can Luke Beveridge manage to conjure up to get the Bulldogs back into this game? We'll find out that very shortly. But first, let's get the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Eliza Getzi. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is promising to reduce the cost of home batteries if Labor wins the federal election. Speaking at a rally in Brisbane today, he's promising to spend $2.3 billion to subsidise the installation of batteries for homes, small businesses and community facilities. He says from July, the cost of installing a typical home battery would fall by 30%.
With a battery, families can store the free energy generated on a sunny day when no one's home and use it when they need it. And every household that installs a battery drives down energy prices for everyone else because it reduces peak demand.
Universities have slammed a coalition plan to drastically slash the number of international students if it's elected. Here's Andrew Green.
Opposition leader Peter Dutton is accusing Australian universities of running a racket with foreign student numbers and has vowed the coalition will reduce international entrants by 80,000 if elected. He says the plan will free up housing.
Help young Australians get into home ownership more quickly.
But CEO of Universities Australia, Luke Sheehy, says it will simply hurt the economy.
We need construction of housing, not destruction of this wonderful sector.
Labor insists it already has a plan to manage foreign student numbers.
Protesters are expected to gather in Paris today to support French far-right leader Marine Le Pen after her conviction for embezzling EU funds, which will prevent her from running in the next presidential election in 2027. The BBC's Hugh Schofield reports.
Police say that between 5,000 and 8,000 people are expected to gather this afternoon near Les Invalides. Not a massive demonstration then, if those figures are borne out, but a chance for Marine Le Pen, who'll address the crowd, to spread her message once again, that in being barred from standing for the presidency, she's been the victim of judicial overreach. Since the verdict fell on Monday, her National Rally Party says, without it being possible to verify the claim, that they've had thousands of new members sign up. Evidence, they say, that many voters are equally outraged by the ban.
A homicide investigation is underway after a stabbing in Brisbane's Inner North early this morning. Details from Rebecca Hyam.
Police were called to a unit at the Chelsea apartment building in Bowen Hills at 4:15. They found a 39-year-old man from West End with life-threatening stab wounds to his chest and back. He was taken to the Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital, where he died a short time later. Acting Detective Inspector Murray O'Connell says a knife, which officers believe was used in the attack, has been found.
It was a traumatic scene. There was some blood there, as you would expect.
A 22-year-old man and 45-year-old woman who were known to the victim are being questioned by police.
The Victorian government has played down reports it has lost support from local residents affected by the suburban rail loop project in Melbourne's east and southeast. The opposition has obtained internal interdepartmental documents which show in July last year just 22 and 23% of residents surveyed in Box Hill and Cheltenham respectively support the project, while 66 and 71% oppose it. It's prompted the opposition to renew its call for the state government to cancel the multi-billion-dollar project. But Planning Minister Sonia Kilkenny is standing by it.
This is a project that is going to put Melbourne on the world map, delivering world-class infrastructure, public transport system, combined with the biggest housing project in the nation.
Former Tasmanian Liberal Premier Tony Rundle has died aged 86. He was the state's 40th Premier, leading a minority government from March 1996 until September 1998. His period leading the state was marked by the Port Arthur massacre, after which he joined then Prime Minister John Howard in pushing for tighter gun controls. He also oversaw the signing of the Regional Forest Agreement and the decriminalisation of homosexual activity in Tasmania. Tony Rundle was made an Officer of the Order of Australia in 2010. And in sport, boxer Tim Tszyu has broken a 2-fight losing streak after defeating American Joey Spencer in Newcastle. Tszyu, the former WBO light middleweight champion, is trying to reclaim his position in the super welterweight division. Tszyu says he wants to take on American Keith Thurman next.
I'm open for that. That'll be one hell of a fight. I know that fight and Keith Thurman is two completely different styles, so it's a whole different approach I have to take. And what I did tonight, I can't do the same with Keith.
You're up to date with the latest ABC News. For more news at any time, you can download the ABC Listen app.
The Raw told the story.
Did you know you can now listen to the footy on your smart speaker?
Play ABC AFL.
ABC Sport, your home for footy. This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Fraser sockers it up the wing. Draper out to meet it for the Dockers. Did well to trap the ball. Get it to Banfield. Underground handball. Seth Brayshaw. Its ask was pretty clean though. Got it to Wagner. Now to Johnson by hand. Jackson. Short kick inside the 50. Tracy on the lead. Presents and takes the mark on the chest. We'll go back, have a set shot from about 45 metres out, about a 45-degree angle to the right. Normally a very good set shot. He does not disappoint. Tracy has his first goal of the day. Davidson short to Sanders. Now Kennedy running past, delivers inside forward 50 and getting space and taking the mark. Biggest target of them all in Sam Darcy. Sam Darcy, this is his first touch in the second term. Directly in front, Darcy straight through the middle, and now he's got 3 goals. He's causing early headaches for the Fremantle Dockers. Fraser won it back to the Dogs. Over the top to McNeil. Kick towards the right half forward. It's a foot race on. Dogs have the numbers out in front. Harms gathers, tucks up against the boundary line. Oh, don't tell me! James Harms, from the paints of the right forward pocket with the drop punt, has put his hand up and put his nomination in for a goal of the year contender.
Murphy Reid in space at left half forward. He'll kick deep into the left forward pocket. The run was there from Frederick. It was honoured. He takes the mark. Frederick is going to bring it around the body. No wonder he hung on to it. That's a sensational goal. He's got 3.
Jackson gives it to Wagner. The kick inside 450. Karmas completely lost it in the sun. Tracy came through and stole it. Gives it to the 150 gamer in Brayshaw. Kicks the goals, arms outstretched, slams the chest, and the Dockers come in number to celebrate with one of their leaders.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Clint Wilton with you at Perth Stadium. Half-time's almost wrapped up. The Dockers on the scoreboard, 11-5-71 to the Western Bulldogs, 6-3-39. Just wanted to let everyone know, of course, great initiatives by the ABC. Myanmar, Bangkok and the surrounding region has been devastated by a 7.7 magnitude earthquake. Homes have been destroyed. Families have been separated, thousands of lives have been lost, and there's many more missing. Buildings collapsed, critical infrastructure has been severely damaged, including roads, bridges and transport. Now, the ABC is working in partnership with the Emergency Action Alliance to help those affected by the earthquake. Now, you can support organisations on the ground in the affected region by visiting www.abc.net.au/gives. That's abc.net.au/gives. Your donation will help provide food, water, shelter and medical assistance to people affected by the earthquake. For more information and to donate, go to abc.net.au/gives. Fremantle Dockers making their way back out here on Sunday footy on ABC Sport. First team back out on the ground. The Bulldogs have now just run up their race. If you've just joined us, the Dockers in their traditional home purple, the top with the 3 white chevrons on the front of their jumper and the purple shorts. The Bulldogs today in their away jumper, the predominantly white top with the hoops of red and blue. The Bulldog emblem on the front, the white shorts and the white socks. We've got a bit of work to do in this second half, the Western Bulldogs. If you'd like to have a chat with us, as always, let us know your thoughts. Send us a text, 0437 774 774. Like this from Annie. Freo have gone cray-cray. Never mind the lobster. Bad from you. Rory should have a cray on the back of his jumper as well as an anchor on the front. That's very good. We've been accused of being biased towards Fremantle again from Maggie and Werribee, so that's fun. We were accused of being biased against them last week, but that's all good. And again, we'd love to hear from you. Any thoughts at all? Good on you, Maggie. Good for you to touch base. Mitch Turner, have a look at some of the other numbers for us that show the big one, the scoreboard. Fremantle by, just for Maggie, 32 points at halftime.
32 points to the margin. The disposals, Fremantle have tightened that gap. It got away from them early. The Dogs now 198, Fremantle at 191. The contested possessions, 66 apiece. So Fremantle drew level after quarter time there as well. The inside 50 count, still favouring the Dogs, 33-24. The hit-outs, 19-15. Fremantle's way. The clearances, 18-16. Going the Dogs' way. The tackle count is 21-16. Fremantle's way, and just for what it's worth, because people like this one, the free kick count is 13-8 in favour of the visiting side today. Individually, Andrew Brayshaw in game 150 has 16 disposals for the Dockers. Jordan Clark and Caleb Sarong with 14 apiece. Heath Chapman with 13. For the Bulldogs, Matthew Kennedy, he's in some good form of late. He's got 16 disposals for them. Tom Liberatore continues his strong season. 15 disposals, Bailey Dale 14, and then Sanders, Darcy and Baker, the 12 touches. Darcy had 10 in the first term, just 2 in the second, but the main stat that matters, it's Fremantle by 32 points with the margin.
Australia's results from earlier today, the Giants by 81 over the Eagles, and St Kilda by 17 over Port. Just touching again, Jesse Hogan, 9 goals for the Giants, so equal career high for him. Oscar Allen, who's had a big week, certainly over here in the West. Anyway, just 8 disposals, 1 behind. What do the Bulldogs do in this second half to get themselves back into it? Peter Bell, Shane Woden?
Well, again, I think they're winning enough at the source and they're getting their inside 50, so they're getting some territory. They're just not capitalising and finishing off when they're going inside 50. So well on, they have to structure their front half a little bit differently and probably hold Sam Darcy. I'd probably put O'Donnell in as their second ruck, do something a little bit different and keep Sam Darcy with more energy and keep him in the front half for a lot longer and try and make him and Norton the focal points rather than, because I felt at times too their smalls were more the focal points and more their deep ones at times, and they're just not getting enough out of them.
And probably to illustrate that also, that impact forward, Fremantle have been able to score 4 goals from defensive half. So that ability to sweep the ball back out of defence and take it length of ground. So that's been really prevalent today. So how the Bulldogs are moving it in, what sort of defence they can put in place to make sure that Fremantle can't do that. Of course, first and foremost, you want to score, but if you're not going to score, then don't allow the opposition to bounce it out of there.
Marcus in Fremantle. Deadly Dudley's my new Dockers hero. Each a heart out. Caleb Daniel. He is the new smallest player in the AFL at 168 centimetres. Brett from Canberra. G'day, Clint. Enjoying the call. My daughter's a Freo supporter, so she's very happy. At their best, can they make the top 4? I would say at their very best, but they'd have still wanted to be a little bit better than they have been so far. If they can play like they played in that second quarter, never say never. And one more from Dean saying, Clinton Belly, heard Ben saying we've drawn the short straw for next weekend. I couldn't disagree more. We're at the Barossa Belly with Mick and Ben. That's not the short straw. Third quarter underway here on ABC Sport.
Jackson won the first hit out, opposed to English. Liberatore, as he always does, hands and knees, ripped the ball away, got it to Kennedy. His kick inside the forward 50 for the Bulldogs. Lands on the chest of Sam Darcy. Man on the mark stands about 48 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle to the left. He's decided to go back, and it looks like he'll take the shot.
It was a great extraction from Liberatore out of the centre square.
Goes through that routine, points the ball towards the goals. Has 3 already to start the second half in the best possible way. The kick is all the way to the line, and it carries the journey. Darcy has 4 goals. And the Dogs strike the first blow of the second half. They cut the margin back to 26 points with inside the first minutes. 11-5-71 Fremantle. The Dogs now 7-3-45. Mitch Turner here alongside Clint Wielden and our experts in the box, Peter Bell and Shane Woden.
Just the start they needed. Again, Darcy in front. I thought it was right on the edge of the distance. It's obviously just got there. They'll be reviewing it. But a good start.
We talked in the pre-game about how good he could be, how good he's already been. Sam Darcy, father-son pick, of course. Grandfather as well, a Bulldog. Here's English, who palms it down straight to Sarong. He was tackled immediately, can't get it away. Kennedy wrapping him up for the Bulldogs. Ball up the call. Jackson and English battle it down. They both have a fingertip on it. Trying to pick it up with O'Driscoll. Stolen away by Richards. O'Driscoll just gets a tackle on him. Richards did well, got a kick away. Not long enough to be a mark. Sarong had it, lost it, picked up by Wagner. Dockers have it through O'Meara. Hand pass to O'Driscoll on the commentary wing. Now it's with Murphy Reid. Takes a bounce, draws Richards to him. Hand pass. Forces O'Driscoll to go back, and then Karmas tackles him. He got a hand pass out. Reid takes it across the boundary line for the Dockers with Richards in hot pursuit. Ball to be thrown back in, right half forward for Freo. 11-5 to 7-3. Dockers in front. 2.5 minutes gone. And this is the third term. English palmed it down for the Bulldogs. Kennedy onto it quickly. The former Blue puts it up into the air. Won't quite go out of play. Darcy tried to keep it in, right beneath our broadcast position on the northern wing, and then Wagner's tackled by Sanders over the boundary line. We'll have ourselves a throw-in between wing and left half forward for the Bulldogs, who trail on the scoreboard early stages of the third by 26 points.
Jackson has front position to start this ruck contest. Both rucks got hands to it. Kennedy couldn't get a kick away. Stolen by the Dockers and Sarong. Off to Clark. High kick towards centre half forward. Bolton flew high from the back. Couldn't take the mark, and I reckon he had a hand on top of the shoulder, and that's exactly what the umpire indicated. He was all over Bramble, it looks like, back then. Oh, it's Gallagher, the sub, who's into the game. Lathan Vandermeer is out with knee soreness. I don't even need to call that player's name. Lob gathered, kicks it out to the wing. Big contest. It goes out in the back. Davidson to the Bulldogs was tackled by Luke Ryan. I could just let the boos speak, as now they just kick off a little bit. Lockie McNeil and Luke Ryan. Bit of push and shove. If you hear the boos, just assume it's Rory Lobb with the red lobster shaved into his head. He will love it. Jackson v English. Both get a hand to it. Sharp little fumble, then gave a short handball back to Jackson, who was harassed out of it. Fraser got it for the Dogs, gave it to Kennedy. Looping handball over the top of English. Ripped off it by Sarong. Goes back in. Can't win clean possession. Kennedy for the Bulldogs. Kick towards half forward front position. Strong mark taken again by Darcy. He's about 2 metres further out this time. He decides to lay up the pass instead. Can't quite get it on the full to West, who gathered cleanly. The kick inside the forward 50. Punched away by Clark. The Dogs have the numbers. Richards gathered off to Sanders with his second of the game. It's high, it's long, it's straight enough. Sanders with his second goal. The Dogs with the first 2 of the second half. Margin all of a sudden back to 20 points. 8-3-51 the Dogs. 11-5-71 the Fremantle Dockers. 5 minutes played in the third term. Peter Bell, Shane Woden, before we hear from Bridget Lacey.
Yeah, it's great. It started well, the Dogs, this quarter. Darcy again having an influence in the front half.
Well, he's the one, isn't he? Stating the obvious, but again, another mark. He just judging the ball drop so well. Josh Draper couldn't do anything. Maybe there was a bit of luck as well, but you make your own luck. He just keeps presenting and getting to dangerous spots. Darcy, ideal start for Beveridge's men.
Bridget Lacey downstairs.
Yeah, Nathan O'Driscoll just limped to the bench with the Fremantle physio, so they're just having a look now. He had a bit of a limp up, so we'll let you know when we know more.
First 2 goals of the quarter for the Bulldogs. Bounce in the middle. One down, my Jackson. Had his hand knocked by English. Mira tried to get a hand pass out to no one in particular. Here's English again, bursting his way through for the Bulldogs. Hands it off to Richards, moves it to Kennedy, kicks into the left forward pocket. Norton couldn't quite mark. Knocked away from him by Cox. Picked up again by Williams for the Dogs. This is Dolan, threw it on the boot. Found Norton. He plays on. He kicks towards goal. He misses. Oh, he had a chance, I reckon. Just couldn't convert. A minor score. 8-4-52 the Bulldogs. 11-5-71 the Dockers. 6.5 gone in the third.
They go quick to the Dockers. Ryan, long kick out to Bolton on the wing. His kick further afield to Tracy. Took the mark, immediately played on opposed to Lobb. His kick couldn't quite get to Frederick. Clever toe poke though from Frederick. To Brayshaw, to Amos. Can't take the mark. Steadies, snaps, goals. Brilliant. The Dockers went end-to-end very quickly. That's what the fans want to see. Amos finishes it off. He gets his first of the day. 12-5-77 Fremantle. 8-5-52 the Bulldogs. 25-point margin. 7 minutes into the third. The Dockers get the answer they need. Bridget Lacey on the boundaries.
Yeah, Nathan O'Driscoll now just attempting to do some run-throughs on the boundary with the Dock. He doesn't look like he's moving super convincingly, but they do have Carl Warner in reserve as the sub who they've yet to activate.
Maybe it was a set play from a kick-in. Shea Bolton had the entire wing to himself and Luke Ryan found him. We've seen that more and more this year. We see Sydney do it against Fremantle a couple of weeks ago. Hawthorn are running those sorts of set plays and it worked for Fremantle. Easy goal for Amos.
If the criticism about Fremantle is their slow ball movement, I'd love to see stats on it today.
Not today.
Exactly. They've been lightning quick. Jackson on the fingertips against English. Went down to Richards, though, of the Bulldogs, to Liberatore. Moved it again to English. Kicks inside the forward 50 for the Bulldogs. And good mark to Cox. He was behind Norton, flew up into the air and dragged down the yellow Sharon. Has it in the left back pocket for the Fremantle Dockers. Kicks beyond defensive 50 to Sharp. Had to be precise. Davidson closed him down quickly. Sharp hands it off to Ryan. Heads down the southern wing. 2-on-2 battle there. Lobb got a fist to it. English allowed it to bounce. Jackson didn't. Tapped it on in the direction of Tracy, who was wrapped up by Lobb. The ball jarred free. Gallagher moved it on to Liberatore. Kick towards the logo. Dolan marks. He's got it southern side for the Bulldogs. Heads in the direction of Darcy, who drags in a mark in front of Draper. Darcy looks to play on quickly, comes to McNeil. He goes to ground after taking the mark. He fell into Brayshaw. Go back to take his kick. He stands just inside the centre square. Attacking edge, moves it short to right half forward. Here's Darcy again. Looks for an option. Deep inside forward 50, had too much on the kick. Norton left, went over the top of his hands. Behind him, though, was Cox, who marks defensively for Freo. No change to that score. Freo's lead 25 points over the Bulldogs. 9 gone in the third.
Cox shorts at Clark. Umpire said it wasn't 15. Had to run away and shake Dolan. Now kicks it to the wing in front. Voss punched away by Karmas, who followed up the ball. Trying to gather it now. He's tackled by Voss. And the umpire will ball it up.
He's out of sorts, Norton, isn't he? Not reading the flight of the ball. Getting out-bodied easily.
English tapped it straight to his opposition ruck in Jackson. Then Frederick was run down from behind. Great tackle by Bramble. Holding the ball. Free kick inside the centre square. Sets it up over the back. Pearce took the mark. Darcy was worked under it. Norton was too far behind. And Pearce takes the mark. And the kick is horrible off the side of the boot. It's out of bounds on the full. And Dolan will have the free kick at the 50-metre junction at left half forward. He sees something he likes in the middle of the 50, sets it up to the tall timber. No mark taken. Pearce did the roving, lost the ball. McNeil taps it away. Davidson in there for the Dogs, stolen by Johnson. Little handball to Sharp. The Dockers have it back now. Cox, measured kick, finds Brayshaw in the middle of the 50.
It's a brilliant kick. It needed to be precise. It was. Johnson's kick wasn't precise. Bounced off Richards, spilled down to Voss. His hand pass stolen away. Worked that all well. Fraser in turn to Richards. Kicks towards full forward. Norton drags in the footy at the top of the attacking goal square for the Bulldogs. He could go back and throw this over.
Well, when you're out of form or just not at your absolute best, sometimes you're relying on your teammates, and the Bulldogs players are able to get it to Norton in the goal square, goal side of Cox.
In he comes from point-blank range. He sends it into the second tier. The Bulldogs, they get their third of the quarter, and they cut Fremantle's lead back to 19 points. And I'd like their supporters to cheer a bit louder, because it'll make Maggie listening in where he'll be happier. Fremantle at 12-5-77, the Western Bulldogs 9-4-58. The Dockers' lead remains 19 points, though, at the 12-minute mark of the third term.
An excellent smother by Ed Richards. Matty Johnson, Fremantle energised the ball at half-back, which some people would question, but Ed Richards got his hand in, affected a smother, and Norton the beneficiary.
Is that a bit of the Darcy effect? He was in front of Norton, maybe just waiting to give a bit of support for the Darcy kick, and Richards saw the gap.
Potentially there. The Fremantle players like to play assertive, but the ball got in over the back.
It's a great kick by Richards to spear it in. Gave Cox absolutely no chance. Ball in the middle. Jackson tapped it straight to Harms of the Dogs, and Sanders had it ripped away from him. Fremantle have won it back. Sarong to Bolton. Tracy in front position. Just a vice-like grip. It was a genuine one-on-one with Liam Jones. He had front position, he stuck the Dukes up and he took it.
Coming into this match, I think he'd had 6 one-on-ones and not been beaten in any of them, and won 4 of them, Josh Tracy, so excellent mark.
Can't miss from here, directly in front, 10 metres out. Josh Tracy, his season continues to build. He's got 3 goals. Fremantle push the lead back out beyond 20 points again. It's 25 now. 13-5, 83 is their score. 9-4-58 is the Dogs' score. 25-point margin. Bridget Lacey is down on the boundary for us.
Yeah, Nathan O'Driscoll is back on the ground after having his right ankle heavily strapped. He doesn't look 100%, so we'll see how it goes.
The centre bounces are just so important. They usually are, but it just feels like either team, if they can get a really good look from centre bounce, they're capitalising at the moment. Shea Bolton was involved. Luke Jackson actually got the clearance. We've seen a lot of that this year. He looks so dangerous.
Sarong's had it 19 times, so to the 150 game of Brayshaw. The Bulldogs, Kennedy and Liberatore, 22 and 19 respectively. They're both on the bench at the moment. On the restart, Richards trying to take it away. Voss picked it up. He was doing the ruck work then for the Dockers. It's been held to him by Richards. Will ball it up on the outer edge of the centre circles. O'Donnell with a more telling tap. Spilled the ground, tapped it out the side. Sanders picked it up to Dale, bounced into Dudley. Got a hand pass out the side to Gallagher. Dudley put himself in harm's way. Gallagher socketed away, bounced off the shin there of Sanders. Came out to Johnson.
A high tackle, I reckon, Clint.
It was against Harms. They'll have to bring it back. They got a clearance out of all that. It will come back to Johnson, who'll have it pretty much bang in the middle of the ground, just on the outer edge of the centre circles. Harms stands on the mark. Only 2 players behind him, both with purple jumpers on. As Johnson, that's a horrible kick. Works its way inside forward 50. Gallagher got in front position, tackled by Dudley, taken to ground, picking it up, Sarong for the Dockers, kicks towards full forward, getting back Baker with courage, crashed into Jones and then takes it across the behind line for what is a rush behind. 13-6-84 the Dockers, 9-4-58 the Dogs, 15 gone in the third.
Dale called to play on, goes short to Karmas in the middle of the 50. Handballs back to Dale. Kick just beats the outstretched arm. The attempted smother of Tracy out into the path of Gallagher. Dudley provides the pressure. Gallagher goes down the wing in front, unable to take the mark initially as Darcy, but on the second attempt, opposed to Draper. He dragged it in. So hard to stop. He rolls onto the left boot, kicks it towards right half forward, coming back with courage and with dare was Davidson. Eyes only for the ball. He took the mark. He is a nice find for them, Sam Davidson.
Excellent find. Yep, 12 touches today, getting a shot at goal here and works really, really hard. Good size too.
Come off 30 last week, didn't he?
He's picked 51 in the 24 draft. He's a slightly older recruit, the mature age variety, 23 years of age. Sam Davidson, set shot on the way. It's across the face and it's a minor score. So it didn't quite follow the script. 9-5-59. The Dogs 13-6-84. Fremantle, 25-point margin.
Luke Ryan on a bit of a run and thumps it towards left half back. Cox got away from Davidson to take the mark. No great hand pass. Bounced to Sharp. Had time to gather. Swept it forward. Clark dropped it. Couldn't keep it in. That wasn't as slick as we've seen earlier today from Freo. Throw in, centre wing, southern side of Perth Stadium.
It's good to see him do it though.
Yeah.
Just keep moving the ball quick.
He went one-handed there, Jordan. Probably prefer him to go two hands.
Thrown back in. O'Donnell won it down for the Bulldogs. Trying to emerge with it, Fraser. Lost it. Picked up by Sarong on the logo. Kicks the Dockers inside forward 50. Lob might have been held by Banfield. The umpire says play on. It bounces through to Karmas. He's tackled. That should be holding the ball. Karmas got wrapped up. Umpire said play on. Banfield got it, gave it to Dudley. Tried to work away from Humps. Back to Banfield. Bounced off him. Karmas gathers. Banfield tackles him again. Umpire says not enough prior. They'll ball it up. And the Freo fans are unhappy. What Dudley had got.
Yeah, that's holding the ball.
Yeah.
They've just missed that one.
Even Maggie would pay that. This comes down again to Sarong. Kicks up into the right forward pocket. Baker was infringed by Banfield. And that will irk those in purple around this stadium. Free kick to the Bulldogs in the left back pocket. Good tackle from Dudley, even if it wasn't rewarded with the free kick. Dockers 13-6-84. The Bulldogs 9-5-59. 18 gone in the third.
Ball kicked out to the wing. Big fist from behind from Ryan. Came down to Sharp, who is Pings holding the ball, and they are at about fever pitch right now. The Fremantle fans in that part of the ground on the broadcast side. It's a free kick to Bailey Williams. He takes it. He rolls around on the right boot. Kicks up the wing from behind. Darcy flew. Couldn't take the mark. Harms roved it for the Dogs. Got it to West. He's harassed. He broke away from the tackle. That's fair enough. He handballed out in front of Liberatore. Tumbling kick inside 50 in front. Johnson managed to keep it away from Fraser. I don't really care what they're booing for. That was not holding the ball on Riley West. The tackle slipped. He handballed it to Liberatore. I'm happy to report I feel like the umpire got that one right. Anyway, it's a ball up. Deep inside. The Dogs attacking 50. English taps it over looking for Harms. Sarong knocks it away from him. Frederick lost it. Gallagher comes through for the Dogs. He's tackled immediately with no prior, and they'll ball it up.
Really engaged crowd today.
Yes.
Love it.
They're baying and brawling at every opportunity, the purple. One down by Jackson. Sarong almost socketed in danger, but it was taken by Harms, who bobbles it towards the boundary line. They'll want deliberate here. The Dockers fans, they're not going to get it, but they will appeal for everything right now. All in, 48 out from goal, left forward pocket.
Not happy that it sits at 17-9. Free kicks.
Spun back into play. English front position, won it down, bounced up to him, knocked it up into the air. Kennedy tapped it in the direction of West, surrounded by purple jumpers, somehow got a hand pass out. O'Donnell couldn't gather, Sarong could. Has to go back by hand. Nicely worked by Draper, gets a kick away in the direction of Frederick, who flew, and coming in from the side, the mark's been paid to Dale. And Frederick, I thought, definitely had the first touch on that. Things going the Bulldogs' way. That will make Maggie happy. The kick is inside forward 50. Not a great one to Williams. He's tackled by Frederick. Umpire says play on. West tries to emerge with it. He's tackled. Pearce can't pick it up. Decent battle still in the forward 50 for the Bulldogs. He's put his head over the football. It rolls over the boundary line. I reckon the locals aren't pleased. 13-6-84 the Dockers, 9-5-59 the Bulldogs, into time on the third. There's a bit going on here at Perth Stadium.
They've been better Freo players that actually playing the ball now than what they were in the first half.
Ball spun back in, English to the front. Jackson reached over the top, coming through Harms. Couldn't take it for the Dogs. It's bobbing around outside. They're attacking 50. The handball was stolen by Dale. Throws it on the boot quickly over the top. Taking the mark is Draper. And the noise will tell you that the free kick has been paid to the Bulldogs, and it's going to O'Donnell.
Yeah, just against Draper for a hold in the marking contest. Alex Pearce ended up marking the ball, but had the arms around. Well, Draper actually marked the ball, but
little tug of the jumper with the right hand by Draper. Crowd's not happy. O'Donnell has ball in hand, puts it to boot and puts it through. They're not happy, the Dockers fans. The Dogs don't care. They'll take the 6 points, whichever way they come. 10-5-65, the Western Bulldogs. 13-6-84, Fremantle. It's a 19-point margin, 21 minutes played, and it's just a little bit edgy here in Perth Stadium.
Well, I've liked the way Fremantle have pressured the Bulldogs, and that's the crowd are obviously thinking that they could be rewarded for that, but the Bulldogs also have had a really good quarter, 4-2. Clawing their way back into this contest.
Fremantle fans think prior opportunity is no longer a thing. They want every dog that's tackled to be pinned holding the ball.
0437 774 774. Maggie from Werribee, if you're still there, wake up, Maggie. Your team's on the way back. Our fans are filthy. Jackson wins it down. The cheer is for Sarong with the clearance. Kicks inside forward 50. Jones on the lead. Takes the mark defensively for the Bulldogs at fullback. Liam Jones beyond defensive 50. Goes to the southern side. Harms too strong in front of Clark. Plays on by hand. Sanders kicks in the direction of right half forward. It's Pearce against O'Donnell. The ball travels over the top of them and tumbles across the boundary line at right half forward for a throw-in.
Excellent anticipation from Liam Jones in defence. Repelled that Fremantle attack.
Freo's lead remains 19 points. 23 minutes gone in the third. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. One down by the Bulldogs. Williams will emerge with it. 60 out from goal. He centres it. Norton flies. Front position. Chapman brought it to ground. West got it on the Harms. Tackled but got a hand pass away. Cox intercepts for the Dockers. Got it out to O'Driscoll. Kicks towards the southern wing. Great kick down Jackson. He marks just forward of left half back.
Goes out wide to the southern side. Murphy Reid broke away with the lead. Takes the mark. The shadow's almost over. The entire playing surface here at Perth Stadium. It's Murphy Reid, ball in hand. Kicks up towards left half forward. Bolton got in front of Jones. Couldn't take the mark. Jones roved it. Bolton tackled him. Dispossessed him. Then won the ball back. Took a bounce. Runs to 45. Kicks on goal. That'll give him something to cheer about in purple. Terrific solo effort from Shea Bolton. His second goal is terrific. And Fremantle fans felt like they needed it. The side probably needed it. And it just gives them the extra breathing space again. It's 25 points the margin. 10-5-65 the Dogs. The Dockers are now 14-6-90. 24 minutes played. Mitch Turner alongside Clint Wheeldon, our experts, Shane Woden and Peter Bell.
Well, 3 efforts from Shea Bolton. First of all, he halved a marking contest against Liam Jones, which was a pretty difficult thing to do. Followed up with a tackle and then took matters into his own hands, cruising through 50 and gave Fremantle a vital goal. His second of the day.
Their lead, 25 points. A massive cheer as Bolton is shown on the big screen. Showing to the Fremantle fans exactly why the club recruited him. From the restart, the Bulldogs will look to take it away through Richards. Battles against O'Driscoll. Couldn't claim it a second time. Wagner coming the other way. Took it. Tackled by Richards. Ball up. Just forward of the wing for the Western Bulldogs. Throwing up into the air. Jackson had one go at it, got it down to O'Driscoll. Second time to Sarong, just roving by to Johnson. Kick high, long towards right half forward. Buku Karmas in front of Dudley, spoils it over the boundary line. Tumbles away for a throw-in. 50 out from Freo's attacking goal. They're heading to the city end of Perth Stadium in this quarter, to the right of our broadcast position. They lead by 25 points, the Dockers, over the Bulldogs. Thrown back in. Jackson at the back of English, palmed it down to Sarong, tackled immediately by Kennedy, wrapped him up straight away, took him to ground, ball up.
He's having a huge influence, Sarong, up to 26 disposals, 9 clearances.
English palmed it down, went to the Dockers though, came to Clark, then to Reid, got tackled, spilled out. Kennedy threw it on the boot, kicks down the commentary wing. Pearce, front position, tackled to ground by Norton. Pearce just able to knock it out between the legs of Norton. He got up, spun around, got a hand pass forward. Murphy Reid got in the way of Harms, was able to stop him from gathering. Harms again tries to win this. The umpire says, I had enough of that. And on centre wing, they'll ball it up. Really like a couple of these young Dockers, particularly what Murphy Reid's adding to proceedings. 14-6 plays 10-5. Dockers over the Dogs, 26 gone in the third.
Richards roved it off the pack for the Dogs. They got it back to Bramble. Can't shake Sarong initially. He did so eventually. Got a handball, which was almost cut off by O'Driscoll. Richards gets it back. Kick up towards West. Spilt the ball. Warner into the game. Handball back to Clark. Now Cox, little sidestep on Riley West. Kick up the wing. Strong mark by Jackson. He thought about going. Decides to hold off for a moment. We'll get down to Bridget Lacey shortly and see who's off for the Dockers. Carl Warner is on the ground, the sub. Jackson kicks up further ahead of the wing. Karmas had front position, couldn't take the mark, then roves it. Dispossessing the tackle. This time he's holding the ball. The Freo fans cheer like it's a goal. Sarong gets the free kick. Has it just forward of the wing. Umpire's giving him a very long time. Eventually called to move it on. Sarong kicks it inside the forward 50. Lob got a hand to it in front for the Dogs. Jones, he was tackled, driven to ground. Murphy Reid gives it to Bolton. Hard up against the boundary. Steps one way, steps the other. He couldn't beat the smother. Harvey Gallagher knocks it out of bounds for a throw-in. Bridget Lacey downstairs with the latest.
Carl Warner's come on, as you said. Corey Wagner is out of the game with that calf awareness, which was the reason for the late.
We'll get back to Bridget in just a moment. There's been a change made here for the Fremantle Dockers. English palmed it down. Comes out to the Dockers in Sarong. Kicked around the body inside forward 50. And Bramble's going to be paid the free kick here. Wrapped up before he could really attempt to mark the football. So he's got it in the left back pocket. He'll kick back to Karmas, who stands in his defensive goal square. The switch is on here for the Bulldogs. He comes to Baker. Marks and plays on. Oh, the kick wasn't great. Tracy was in front. And Fraser won it, went back by a hand, gave it to Sharp, moved it on in turn to Banfield. Hand pass into the left forward pocket. Baker came out to meet it. Tracy crashed into him. Sent him and the football tumbling across the boundary line for a throw-in. $14.690 the Dockers, 10.565 the Bulldogs. 29 gone in the third term. Jackson again against English. Jackson got it down. Murphy Reid gathers, snapped off one step, high up into the air. It bounced in front of the behind line. Amos gathered, tried to get a hand pass away. Dogs under real pressure. Gallagher had to go back to Jones. Hurried kick came to Davidson. Hand pass off the lob. He's tackled by Cox. Held to him, no prior. They were desperately wanting that, the Freo fans, against the former Docker.
I hate to say it, but Brennan Cox's partner's family are crayfishermen.
They just got a lobster. A big one in the boat. English brought it away to Richards, who'll kick towards the commentary wing.
Norton out in front of Pearce, tapped it to his own advantage, then lost the ball. O'Driscoll over the top, couldn't take it. Now Pearce tapped it out only as far as Norton. The Dogs have it. Sanders, nice little handball to Davidson running. Kick inside the 50. The numbers favour the Dockers. Who gets there first? Sharp. Tackled strongly from behind. Well done, Williams. Handball comes inboard. Snap on the left leg from O'Donnell. And he sends it through the behind. So he misses it. Bridget Lacey gives us a chance to go downstairs quickly. The lead is 24 points to Fremantle.
Yeah, Corey Wagner's the man who's been subbed out with that calf awareness that kept him out of last week's derby, and Nathan O'Driscoll's just limped to the bench again.
Yeah, he was limping really, really badly, O'Driscoll, in that last contest. Fremantle have activated Carl Warner into the game.
Just as they might have another injury issue. How often does that happen? As Ryan kicks into the middle of the ground. Murphy Reid involved, trying to tap it over his shoulder. Richards looked to work it on in the direction of English. O'Meara got there first. English tackles him to ground. Ball up the call. Attacking point of the centre square. Left half forward for the Bulldogs. Thrown aloft by the umpire. English slapped it down. Kennedy out after it. Sarong got there first. Got taken high. They'll want the advantage for They'll get it. Frederick moves it. 5 foot to Tracy.
He's dominating Sarong. Absolutely dominating.
Clean hands around contest, elite.
28 disposals now for him. 11 ground ball gets as well. Tracy kicks towards right half forward. Big pack rises. No mark taken. Buku Kamas at the drop. Hand passed away to Davidson. Now on in turn to Baker. Short pass was meant for Dale. Jackson got in front. Tried to work it in the direction of Tracy. Slapped it out along the ground. That was clever to Draper. To Frederick, rather, and then he gives it on in turn to Ryan. Kicks inside forward 50. Lob flew. Couldn't mark. Umpire says free kick going the way of Jones. Has it defensively for the Bulldogs. He'll go beyond defensive 50 to Richards, who marks.
A few players, it seems like, just hoping for this three-quarter time siren. Bit of fatigue out there. Richards plays on, takes a bounce, kicks up the wing. Darcy has front position, can't take the mark. Draper dispossessed for the Dockers at ground level. He lays on top of Darcy now, and the umpire will come in to sort it out. 29 now, Sarong. Late in this third term. Voss in the ruck against English. Ball tapped out in front of Davidson. Can they beat the siren? Davidson's kick under pressure goes out of bounds on the full, and that should pretty much do it for the third term. It'll be a free kick to Warner, as we heard, has replaced Corey Wagner, the Dockers sub. The Dogs have also made their sub, Gallagher, replacing Vandermeer. The kick up the line to Frederick doesn't mean much as the siren sounds to end the third term. The Dockers, they take a 24-point lead into the final change. 14-6-90, the Dockers. 10-6-66, the Bulldogs.
Goal kickers for Freo. Tracy's gone 3. Frederick's gone 3. Bolton with 2. Singles to Brayshaw, to Jackson, Sharp, Amos, Banfield and Dudley. While for the Bulldogs, Sam Darcy with 4 majors. 2 to Sanders, singles to West, O'Donnell, Harms and Norton. Three-quarter time, Fremantle, who had a 2-point advantage at quarter time, a 32-point lead at the half, have had that cut back to 24 points by the Bulldogs with 1 quarter to play. Repeating the other games completed on Sunday footy on ABC Sport, the Giants by 81 points over the Eagles. That was the game that kicked off proceedings. And then the Saints by 17 points over Port to win their 3rd straight game. 1 quarter to play at Perth Stadium. The Dockers lead the Dogs by 24 points. Wherever you're listening on ABC Radio, Sport Digital Radio, News Radio, and on the AFL button, streaming on the ABC Listen app. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
With the federal election imminent, is there a podcast to help you break down those headlines and detangle the spin? There sure is. You can join me, Patricia Carvelis, for Politics Now on the ABC Listen app.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Jackson won the first hit out, opposed to English. Liberatore, as he always does, hands and knees, ripped the ball away, got it to Kennedy. His kick inside the forward 50 for the Bulldogs. Lands on the chest of Sam Darcy. Man on the mark stands about 48 metres out from goal. Has 3 already to start the second half in the best possible way. The kick is all the way to the line and it carries the journey. Darcy has 4 goals. Kick inside the forward 50, punched away by Clark. The Dogs have the numbers. Richards gathered off to Sanders. The second of the game. It's high, it's long, it's straight enough. Sanders with his second goal. The Dogs with the first two of the second half. Ryan, long kick out to Bolton on the wing. His kick further afield to Tracy. Took the mark, immediately played on opposed to Lobb. His kick couldn't quite get to Frederick. Clever toe poke though from Frederick to Brayshaw to Amos. Can't take the mark. Steadies, snaps, goals. Brilliant. The Dockers went end to end very quickly. That's what the fans want to see. Amos finishes it off. Jackson tapped it straight to Harms of the Dogs, and Sanders had it ripped away from him. Fremantle have won it back. Sarong to Bolton. Tracy in front position. Just a vice-like grip. It was a genuine one-on-one with Liam Jones. He had front position. He stuck the Dukes up and he took it. Can't miss from here. Directly in front. 10 metres out. Josh Tracy. His season continues to build. He's got 3 goals. Bolton got in front of Jones, couldn't take the mark. Jones roved it. Bolton tackled him, dispossessed him, then won the ball back, took a bounce, runs to 45, kicks on goal. That'll give him something to cheer about in purple. Terrific solo effort from Shea Bolton.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
It's Fremantle who lead with a quarter to play of round 4 in the 2025 season of the AFL. 14-6-90 to the Bulldogs, 10-6-66. Let's get the thoughts of our experts here on Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. Dual premiership player Peter Bell, Brownlow medalist Shane Woden.
4-3 quarter for the Bulldogs, and the game's not done and dusted by any stretch, particularly given Fremantle have got some injury concerns now. We know that Corey Wagner's out of the game with a calf issue that he missed last week with. We also know that Nathan O'Driscoll is struggling with some ankle problems, and a lot of discussion with Luke Jackson and the medical staff as well. He's been doing some run-throughs, a lot of treatment to one of his limbs, lower leg, or maybe even hamstring. I'm not sure if he's going to play a further part in this game. We'll have to wait and see.
I had the binoculars on him, and it looked from a distance a conversation of a player trying to convince medical staff he can go, and medical staff trying to tell him you're not going to go. So we will see. Bridget Lacey is keeping a close eye on it. But he didn't look happy, Luke Jackson. He's pleading his case.
Okay.
And the game is quite an open game, and so the Bulldogs have a good opportunity. They're getting enough looks at goal. It's a free-flowing open game, so fatigue will also set in, and Fremantle have got some of those injury concerns may diminish their running power. So there's an opportunity there. It's a remote one, but it's still live.
Good text, by the way, just sending in. Fremantle have used 71 of their interchanges, 71 of their 75. Already used them.
Now that's interesting. On a hot day, and they've got the injury concerns. They're not going to be able to rotate their players much in this last quarter.
That is interesting.
Good stat, by the way.
That's 71 to 55 for the Dogs as well.
Yeah.
So they are well ahead of that.
So whoever sent that in, well played, because I hadn't got that far amongst the stats, but that's a ripper pickup from you.
Got to put it on them now. Get this game on the outside and go.
Let's get some numbers for you heading into this final quarter. I will just get them back up on my screen for the entire match. Disposals, Caleb Sarong, 29, leads all comers on the ground, has 11 clearances as well. Brayshaw, 19 for the Dockers. Jordan Clark, 18. For the Dogs, Matthew Kennedy has 23 touches. Tom Liberatore has 21, 19 apiece to Bailey Dale and Sam Darcy. The contested possession count, the Dogs edge ahead once more, 114 to 101. The inside 50 count, they lead that as well, the Dogs, 47 to 37. The clearances, 30 to 28. The visiting sides way. And the tackle count is 49 to 39. The Dockers way, the margin, 24 points, Fremantle's way.
Rick from Margaret River. Team, can we draw a breath? Or is it another from the jaws of victory? Nervously listening in.
Well,
what are you pointing at, Mitch? Just tell us.
I'll go down to Bridget Lacey. She might give us the update on exactly what I'm looking at.
Yeah, Luke Jackson's making his way to the bench, which doesn't bode well for his playing time in this last quarter. That's a massive blow for the Fremantle Dockers. I'll get an update from the club.
And as we mentioned before, O'Driscoll in real trouble. He's got the boot off as he hobbles towards the bench. Fremantle have already made their substitute. So Corey Wagner off, Carl Warner on. So perhaps another 2 players without much involvement in this final term, which means it'll become so much more crucial what Patrick Voss can do for this Fremantle side. A few others, Fremantle supporters, a bit concerned. Could Freo find another way to lose here? One of our correspondents. And Lisa, guys, enjoying the unbiased call. Special comments. Thanks, Lisa. Sam Darcy has a great pair of hands. Wayne Carey-like. Norton is playing a nearly game at the moment. 1 goal for Norton. Sam Darcy, it is a joy to watch him in the flesh. He has been terrific today from what we've seen. If you'd like to send us a text, 0437 774 774. Doesn't mean if you abuse us, I won't have a crack back, though, to various correspondents. Always good fun. 14-6-90 the Dockers, 10-6-66 the Bulldogs, underway in the final turn. And it's English who slaps it forward for the Dogs, coming out to meet it and then met in a crunching tackle by Sarong one way and Voss the other was Sanders. Thrown aloft. English against Voss. English won it down once more. Sarong has to soccer it off the ground. Picked up by Dale in the middle of the deck. Sent it back inside forward 50 for the Bulldogs. This time, Darcy couldn't take the mark. He thought he was infringed. It came out to Ryan. Moved it on to Clark. Kicked towards the outer wing. Amos might have worn one in the eye. Spills out to Harms. He shares it with Liberatore. Harms to the Bulldogs. Kicks long towards full forward. There's only Dockers back there. And it's Pearce who can mop up for Fremantle. Oh, this kick is an absolute horror show. He's turned it over. And it's marked by Bailey Williams at right half forward, 51 from goal.
You nearly go the journey here.
Oh, the captain putting Fremantle in all sorts of strife. Williams will put it towards the teeth of goal. They come from everywhere. It spills down, slapped towards the goal line. Desperate effort coming from Sharp. Just got enough on it. He was certainly under pressure and rushing it through for a minor score. 10-7-67 the Dogs, 14-6-90 the Dockers. 1 minute and 19 seconds into the final turn.
Ryan with the kick-in duties. They may have used all their interchanges, Fremantle, because they won't be able to use them anyway if they run out of players. The way it's going in this final term. Ryan, kick out towards Tracy and lob. Good battle. It gets over the back. Voss gathered. Handball to Banfield. The Dockers go up the wing. Banfield's kicks low down. Dudley couldn't take it on the half volley. Jones gathers. Oh, he had a look. He got tackled by Frederick. Just got it away to Gallagher. The kick up the wing's a good one to Sanders. Kicks it back inboard to the logo on centre wing. Lob takes the mark. Little chip over the top. Looking for Liberatore. Sat it on his head. Brayshaw punched it away. O'Meara took it for the Dockers. Got it to Tracy. Takes a little bounce. He's just standing beyond centre half back. Nothing to kick to. Eventually dribbles one up towards Amos. But the kick was on the deck and Karmas was there to chop it off. He's wrapped up by Amos. They'll ball it up southern edge of the centre square here at Perth Stadium.
Strong, by the way, with 31 disposals. Still Kennedy with 23. The restart, his Harms bursting through for the Bulldogs. Kicks long, inside forward 50. Pearce just used the body work against Darcy. Was able to get it down, gave it to Warner. Moved it on to Ryan for the Dockers. Kicks out towards left half back where Frederick marks. He'll trot back away from Gallagher. Kicks in the direction of Tracy, spoiled by Lobb, who follows up, but then Lobb can't pick it up. Ryan's right with him, tries to lock it in, gets some support, Lobb did from Gallagher, but ball up is the call. Gets a pat on the back from Banfield. There's Luke Ryan as he runs away, the player that Shane Woden was referring to. Ball spun aloft again, English palmed it down for the Bulldogs, came to Banfield, bounced hand pass, clever. On in turn to Brayshaw, the 150 gamer, then to Sarong, sweeping hand pass to Dudley. Oh, Dudley showed some candy and got away from Harms. Inside forward 50, big collision. Amos up against Karmas and alongside Baker. The Dogs can clear towards the outer side. They've done well. It comes here to Dolan. Hurry kick towards left half forward.
Kennedy taps it out in front of him, has Ryan for company, tucked away up against the boundary line. He steps it over.
A lot of Fremantle players cramping as well. Bolton's cramping. Amos is cramping. And lovely bit of play from Dudley, wasn't it?
He spoiled his own man, did Shane Bolton over the top of Amos. Ball spun back in. English took it out of the ruck. His kick was smothered, though, by Banfield. Dudley comes in. Little toe poke. Then follows up with a tackle on Baker. The Dogs have it, though. Liberatore sells a bit of foot candy, then goes inside the 50. He's so reliable, Tom Liberatore. And he finds West. Couple of famous Bulldogs names linking up. And West will go back. Set shot, 45 metres out. 45-degree angle to the left.
A lot of Willie Rioli and Dudley in there.
That movement was, yeah.
That movement. Candy.
Stopped on a dime.
They're right in this, the Bulldogs.
Absolutely.
Fremantle look tired, and English is giving them great service, as you'd expect, given he's opposed to Pat Voss in the ruck.
Riley West already has one goal. Set shot on the way. Strikes it nicely. Didn't hit it straight enough. It's away to the right. It's a minor score and a let-off. The lead's now 22 points the way of the Dockers. 14-6, 90 Fremantle. The Bulldogs 10-8, 68, 5 minutes into the final term. ABC Sport.
Luke Ryan unsure where to go. Eventually sends it in the direction of Brennan Cox, who had to drag in the mark, high up above his right shoulder. He's in the left back pocket. He'll steer it short to Warner, who marks. Still in their defensive 50. There's not a lot of options in front of him. Might have to come down the line. Goes on a run. That's what he will do towards centre wing. Big pack up. And Jones at the back spoiled it down. Williams had it, tackled by Brayshaw. Another ball up called. Dockers remain in front. They're up by 22 points. English got it down to Richards. Threw it on the boot. Floating kick towards right half forward. McNeil had it. Got taken high.
Lazy tackle.
Frustration for Clark. Stepped over the line then McNeil. Umpires let them play on. The kick inside forward 50. Alex Pearce. Strong grab from the captain. He'd like a better disposal than he had a couple of minutes ago.
He's had a couple of poor ones today, Alex Pearce.
So from left full back, he'll kick up into the air towards left half back.
Kicks it up towards the pack and over the back of the pack. It falls in the lap of Rory Lobb. Kicks it inside the forward 50. Big fist came over the top from Pearce. It fell to West. Handball over the top to Norton. Taps it to himself. Gives it to McNeil, who's set upon immediately. The Dockers are defending in desperation right now. The Dogs are pushing. It's a ball up. 30 metres out from the Dogs' goal. English takes it out of the ruck. Kick smothered by Sarong. Brayshaw terrific through traffic. Was able to get the handball to Chapman, and now Clark steps around one. Kicks up towards the wing, over the head of Amos. Foot race is on. Baker beat Bolton to it and did very well to tap it to a teammate in Gallagher, whose kick up the wing wasn't perfect. Somehow found its way on the bounce to Richards, who goes back to Bramble, who was taken high by a stretching Murphy Reid. The umpire called advantage. The kicking board was spilt by Karmas. He costs it up to Banfield. He then becomes the tackler. Karmas wraps him up. A bit chaotic, but it'll be a ball up inside the centre square. 22 points to margin the way of the Dockers.
Thrown up again. Slapped down there by English. Scooped on though by the Dockers. Sarong. Now to Brayshaw. Stabs the pass. It's been intercepted. Well done by Dale. Dragged it in with the right arm and kicks quickly towards right half forward. Battling away Cox against O'Donnell. And O'Donnell will take the free kick. He's got it at right half forward. And the Dockers short on interchanges. They've only got 4 up their sleeve at the start of this quarter. They still have a handy lead though of 22 points. 7 and a bit minutes gone in the final term. The kick from O'Donnell is deep inside the attacking 50. Big pack up. Darcy got hands to it. Couldn't mark. Spilled down to Clark. Deep in the left back pocket. Tackled by Sanders over the boundary line for a throw-in. About 20 out for the Bulldogs attacking goal. They're heading towards the city end of Perth Stadium in this final term, to the right of our broadcast position. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden, Mitch Turner, Peter Bell and Shane Woden with you.
Ball spun back in. English to the front. Tapped it straight back to Vosto. Out of the pack. Darcy gathers. Snaps around the body. Kicks his 5th. Cometh the moment, cometh the man. Sam Darcy stands tall among the rest. However, they will check. And I'm not sure if they're checking. They're checking if he hit the post. From my angle, it looked like it got in clean. I had the binoculars up, but we'll wait and see. Wait for the replays here, if they want to roll. Couple still frames at the moment.
It's not going to help with much, is it? There we go.
I'll put it this way, it's very clear of the post, and the umpire's in the absolute best position anyone could be in to judge that, and I actually don't. I think it's gone between the umpire is standing between the post and the ball almost. So
unless it's hit the back of the...
He can do that, but it's not the greatest view that we have.
No.
I had the binoculars up live, and
it's
it
frozen.
Looked like it was comfortably through.
Oh, if it's a goal, then it looks like it.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, there is a gap between the ball and the post at all times and a flat line on edge. Decision on scoreboard.
It is a goal to Sam Darcy. What it will do, a nice little break for the Dockers with the score review because they get a breather.
It is well and truly game on. They've got all the momentum, the Bulldogs at the moment. What a goal from Darcy.
11-8-74 the Dogs, 14-6-90 Fremantle. Margin is 16 points. Bridget Lacey downstairs.
I don't know if you can do the check, guys, but I think Fremantle have used 3 rotations already in this quarter, so what would that leave them with, 1?
They've got one. One interchange left for the Fremantle Dockers.
It's a free kick if you go over, isn't it? Free kick in 50 metres. North Melbourne lose one against Sydney a couple of years ago.
Yep, they did.
They won't be going over.
No, they would know the problems they have. But it certainly is going to be an issue. Only 10 minutes gone in the final term.
The question is, why do they have this problem?
Yeah. Mind you, the troubles they have, there's only there's 2 more players on the bench that are not of much use at the moment in Jackson and O'Driscoll.
He's 35 in the second.
One down by English. There's a free kick here. It's Voss who's been taken high. Voss will play on for the Dockers, and he moves it short. This is Clark who marks. He's doing his defensive half of the ground, near the outer edge of the centre square. We'll move it out in the direction of Ryan who marks.
They may have to play this way just to conserve some energy.
It was all run and stun and have some fun for the first half. It's a bit more controlled now required from the Dockers. They kick into the right forward pocket. The punch came from Gallagher, and he spoils it for the Bulldogs over the boundary line, about 70 out from Freo's attacking goal. Bridget Lacey downstairs.
I'm not sure they know. They're holding up a sign with 2 different numbers on it, Caleb Sorong and Dudley's. So,
well, trouble could be a brewing. Spin back into play. English wins it down. Fraser for the Bulldogs gets a kick towards centre wing. Southern side of the ground. Pearce takes it towards the boundary line. Then straight into Dolan. Umpire says holding the ball.
We have had those numbers confirmed. They are correct.
They're the champion data stats, Billy. Yep. Feel free to have a look. Because I got the text, I went, oh goodness me, and then I went and had a look in the interchange, and whoever's keeping an eye on these things, they're bang on. Towards left half forward for the Bulldogs, and then Cox takes it across the boundary line. I'll just show you where it is. There it is.
Yep.
That's what you're looking at right there.
Yep. 74.
You said the game was going too fast for them at the start, Belly. Did they get lulled into using too many rotations because of the speed the Dogs
It's really
got?
interesting, yeah.
41,491, the official crowd, just up on the big screen here at Perth Stadium as English palmed it down. It came to Harms. Got a hand pass away to Dale. Back to Harms under real pressure. Baker put his head over it, ricocheted off him. Frederick trying to take it away. Umpire said, no, it'll come back. I'd called for a ball up. It's at left half forward for the Bulldogs.
Voss has got to do the ruck work this quarter. On that occasion, English was too tall. Tapped it to Liberatore. Got it to Fraser. His handball. Couldn't find a target. Oh, Brayshaw played tunnel ball with it. English came through. Stole it. His kick went straight to Sarong in close confines. Spun out of a tackle. Has handballed it out in front of Brayshaw. Just punches it forward, looking for its teammates.
Been hit high. Brayshaw
got away with one a little bit because he did cop it high from Baker as he threw his body on the line to knock it forward. It would have been close to see it. The umpire called it insufficient intent as Brayshaw and Baker go at it. Sorry, Sarong and Baker. Brayshaw has the free kick. Brayshaw coming up for disposal 23, just backward of centre wing. Kicks it long down the line. Harry Fraze kicks it long on the wrong side of the line. It's out on the full. Dogs will have it back. in the hands of a dangerous user. Bailey Dale,
What a
chiseling kick to centre wing to Liberatore. Kicks it further afield, looking for Baker, going back. Johnson managed to get a fist in it. It fell to Harms, though. The Dogs still have it. Gives it back to Baker. Runs around Warner. Kicks it inside the forward 50. Draper punches it straight up in the air. Now tries to do the crumbing. Davidson, clever tap to O'Donnell. Sanders rips off the ball. Umpire says he got a handball. It falls down to Harms. Snaps towards goal. And Ryan taps it through. Gets a hand on it. It's a minor score. The margin, I believe, should be cut back to 15 points. It is 11-9-75 the Dogs, 14-6-90 the Dockers, 15 gone in the last.
They keep coming, the Dogs. What have the Dockers got left in them? No more interchanges is one answer.
Their method going inside 50s. Not great at the moment, the Dogs. Got to change it up.
Here's Sharp, kicking towards the commentary wing. Big pack up, no mark taken. Spill down to Gallagher. Oh, hand pass straight into Brayshaw. Went out after it and was happy enough to see it over the boundary line. Bridget Lacey.
I just had a thought. Would there have been extra rotations today because of the heat? Is that potentially the answer to this question?
That might be right.
I'll check my emails from the AFL.
Back into play again. One down here by English. Comes in the direction of Sharp, kicks inside forward 50, stretching for it. Amos got it on in turn to Frederick, will bounce it towards goal. He tried the dribble kick, he missed. Cross the face, it misses to the right-hand side. Minor score. Fremantle by 16 points, 14-7-91 to the Bulldogs, 11-9-75. I think we've got an answer, Mitch Turner.
My contact with the AFL says that the heat mitigation policy is in place today, but that doesn't include extra rotations from what they told us. So we'll wait and see. Ball goes up the wing, off hands. Johnson was over it for the Dockers. Richards extracted it. Got it towards West. Then Williams. Now the kick inside forward 50. Terrific grab taken by the skipper. Alex Pearce in front, took the mark, had to stand tall. That's what leadership looks like. He goes beyond defensive 50 to Frederick. So the quarter time and half-time breaks have been increased from 6 minutes to 8 minutes. Additional water carriers. That is the only note we got given about the heat mitigation. So Frederick goes up the wing to Clark, who now goes backwards towards left half back, and Ryan. Is that as far as you're aware, Bally? There's no extra rotations?
That's my understanding.
Ryan will lob one up the wing in the direction of Rory Lobb, who takes the mark. Bit of a mismatch against Murphy Reid. The boos will come. We'll get down to Bridget shortly. Lobb, he doesn't get any shorter as the game goes on. Now he kicks it towards right half forward. Big pack flies, no mark taken. Free kick called. It's going to the Western Bulldogs. It's going to Darcy.
It's got to come around.
So Pat Voss has come to the interchange, assuming it'll be Josh Tracy.
Yeah,
in the ruck.
We'll wait and see. Darcy, in the meantime, is going to set it up to the hot spot. Big pack flies, no mark taken. Comes down over at Banfield. Now Williams in there for the Dogs. He's tackled. He drops the ball. Umpire says, you had Pryor, you didn't get rid of it. It's holding the ball. It goes to Draper and the Dockers.
Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden, Mitch Turner, Peter Bell, Shane Woden, Bridget Lacey downstairs. The Dockers desperately hanging on. Hot day. Reached the top of 29 degrees. It comes to Clark in the left back pocket. He moves it to Cox. They'll take every second they can. All but out of interchanges. Cox towards the commentary wing. Off hands to Sarong. Sweeping hand pass to Dudley. Hands it off to Bolton. It's an open forward 50. Takes a bounce. Takes a second. Bolton. Oh, no. He's gone short.
Oh, goodness.
He had two options and he somehow took the third to Baker, who took the mark. He could have gone himself at goal. Could have gone long to Frederick. Instead, kicked it almost straight to Baker on the rebound. The Bulldogs are able to move it out. Baker to Reid. It's gone over the boundary line. It's going to be a free kick here the way of Davidson to Bridget Lacey in just a moment. He moves it back inboard to Dale. Dale kicks in the middle of the ground. Ooh, almost tunnelling against Banfield. Going up to take the mark was Williams. Spotted it down and came on in turn to West. Kick towards centre half forward. Clark did well against Kennedy. Clark for the Dockers. Switches play. On the bounce it comes to Frederick at right half forward.
Frederick gathers, kicks towards Amos in the pocket. It's too hot. Goes over his head. He beats Lobb back to the ball. Murphy Reid, the young star, kicks it across the face, and it might not be
it's a good result.
The worst result. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw in. Bridget Lacey downstairs.
They've gone over interchange if champion data is right for Fremantle Dockers, but I don't think the champion data numbers are right because obviously there's been no free kick paid and it's a hamstring for Luke Jackson, unfortunately.
I'm seeing 77 rotations. We'll wait and see what happens. Ball tossed in. Shallow of both Voss and O'Donnell.
This is bizarre, isn't it?
The umpire's throwing was too shallow. They'll go again. It gives the Dockers another chance to take a breath. In the ruck, O'Donnell v Voss. Inside Fremantle's forward 50. Voss gets the tap down. O'Meara coming through. Gathers. Tackled. He's on top of the ball. Bramble has him. And they'll go again. Stay short at the interchange gates. He wants to come back on. Tracy now in the ruck. Pushes O'Donnell out of the way. Taps it straight to Kennedy of the Dogs though. Clearing kick beyond defensive 50. Ball bounces on its end. Johnson gathered it. Tried to get it inboard to Reid. It was stolen by the Dogs. Liberatore kicks it up the wing. Darcy has it punched away from him by Draper. Coming through Norton. Did well. Won the ball. Kicks it inside forward 50. Bouncing end on end. There's only one there. It's Ryan. He has a fumble for the Dockers. Has a second fumble. Had to contend with Harms. And he got away with it. And he finds Chapman.
Chapman for Fremantle. A chance to measure his kick. It's long. It bounces the direction of Dudley. He'll wheel away from Karmas. Hands it off to Sharp. Sharp waits for Lobb. Hand passes again to Dudley. Clever hand pass forward to Sharp. Sockers it on towards right half forward to Frederick. Kicks inside forward 50. English. Great mark. Defensive grab that needed to be taken for the Bulldogs. Down to Bramble. Flares it out towards left half back. It's taken a touch on the way across the boundary line. It's going to be a throw-in left half back for the Bulldogs.
Fremantle players look gassed. So I'll forgive Heath Chapman there for the double fist spoil when he could have marked.
Fremantle's lead 16 points, 22 gone in the last. Bridget Lacey.
And Cox has come off as well with a full body cramp.
Yeah, he's looking in some trouble down there. Brennan Cox, ball spun back in. Tracy tapped it down. Liberatore got the clearing kick. Only as far as Chapman lost possession for the Dockers. Liberatore went flying back in. Now Brayshaw has it. He's tackled to ground. Both teams are exhausted.
But can they hold on, Fremantle?
The Dogs need to kick at least 3 goals here to win. It's a 16-point margin. English thumps it forward from the restart. Pearce, it's been enormous in this final term. He sees it out over the boundary line. On the southern side, we'll have another boundary throw in.
Testing conditions, but just at the moment, the Bulldogs haven't been clinical enough for the looks that they're getting. There's still plenty of time, though.
22 minutes into the final term. The Fremantle by 16.
Throwing in. Tracy against English. Tracy just used his body to allow the ball to bounce. Kennedy picked it up for the Bulldogs. Swept it forward. Brayshaw was back there at right half back. Collected it for the Dockers. Kicked down the wing, and English is immense again. And Dudley goes crashing into him, and that's madness from Dudley because the mark had been taken. He's given away 50. It'll bring English up towards left half forward. She's been in the right spot a couple of times. English kicks inside forward 50. Won to ground by Pearce of the Dockers. Gave it to O'Meara. Then to Tracy. Kicks back towards Amos. And he marched just shy of centre wing, southern side. Still Freo by 16, 23 gone in the last.
Amos chips inboard to Brayshaw. The crowd wanted him to put it ahead to Bolton. Instead, the 150 gamer has it. Just backward of centre wing. Wants to retreat inside his defensive 50. Does so by foot to Ryan. Ryan now chips forward, back beyond defensive 50. Warner onto the ground in place of Wagner, who has a calf issue. The sub has the ball in hand. Signals that he's going long down the line. Kicks it up the wing. Flying in front of English is Tracy. Knocks it out of bounds. They'll get a chance to reset on the southern side of the ground. The lights are on here at Perth Stadium.
A couple of big efforts from Tracy, finding it composed out of D50 moments ago, and then a big spoil on Tim English, who is really influential at the moment.
We're into time on well and truly in this fourth term. The Dockers still hold a 16-point lead. Sanders emerges from the pack for the Dogs. Kicks up towards half-forward. Courage from Draper to go back for Fremantle. He got a fist in. Ryan gathers and he's tackled immediately by Harms. Takes him over the boundary line, just outside the Dogs' forward 50. They're about 55 metres out. The ball will be spun back in. Tracy is doing the bulk of the ruck work now for the Dockers. He's up against English. Luke Jackson is out of the game on the bench with what we believe is a hamstring injury. Tracy manages to get a hand to this one to Sarong. Got it to Banfield. His kick smothered. It ricochets back to the Dockers. Ryan, he's tackled immediately by Sanders. Ball up left half forward for the Dogs. They still trail by 16 points.
The Dockers have made their sub, both teams have, but they've only got one fit player on the bench at the moment. And at the moment, we've also seen 78 of 75 interchanges, whatever that is worth. Dockers winging away from the restart. Here's Banfield, kicks down the southern wing. Amos, good diving grab. He's cramped as well in the process.
My only thought is maybe they counted the blood rule ones and they don't actually count. And there was a few of those.
We're all guessing at the moment. Amos goes back, sliding out, and then Clark was in trouble, but fortunately for him, Liberatore, as he slid into tackle, got him high. Free kick to Fremantle at right half back. 41,000 people hold their breath, closing in on full time. Still a 16-point lead to the home side. They kick towards right half forward. Dale went back, got it for the Bulldogs, gave it to Liam Jones. Kicked in the direction of Liberatore. Spoil came from Clark at the back. Got it out towards Brayshaw, went back to Clark, and then there's a holding the ball decision against Clark. After he received it a second time, Norton will take the free kick for the Bulldogs. He steers it in the direction of Harms. From left half forward, goes to the one-on-one at full forward. Going up, Darcy couldn't mark. McNeil had it and kicked the goal for the Bulldogs. At the drop on the left-hand side, he snaffled it at pace and put it through for another goal that brings the Bulldogs to within 10 points. 26 and a bit gone in the final term. 14-7-91. Fremantle, the Western Bulldogs, 12-9-81. What a finish we've got coming up. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Our experts, Peter Bell and Shane Woden.
Just gut run. They're running over the top of them, the Bulldogs. Gut run from McNeil, and he's rewarded with the goal. Is there time? 10 points the margin. All momentum with the Bulldogs. Fremantle with many, many issues. Are the Bulldogs going to be good enough?
Bridget Lacey downstairs.
You'd think the Dockers have just made their last two rotations. So Chapman's come off and so has Dudley, and Brennan Cox is back on the ground.
He doesn't look great, Brennan Cox, running out of position either. They've made 400 rotations.
Fremantle's recent record in close games, very, very poor.
The crowd is trying to will them on. There's got to be a 6-6-6 warning here because Freo players are going all over the place. And there it is, the official warning. It means they'll throw it up instead of bounce it. I think so. Is that not correct? We'll wait and see. The umpire's going to bounce it. Ball bounced in the middle. Voss v English. Voss won the tap straight to Liberatore though. Gets a clearing kick forward. McNeil couldn't take the mark. Warner has it for the Dockers. Little handball back to Jordan Clark. His kick out to the wing. Marked by Richards. Played on immediately. Pushed as he kicked. He was pushed in the back. Fremantle had won it back, but it'll come back to the spot where Richards was pushed, and it might be worth the free kick, to be honest. It slows things down.
Clark had the ball in his hand then.
28 minutes gone. Richards goes inside the forward 50. Big pack flies. No mark. West gathered. Couldn't find a teammate. Warner has it for the Dockers. Tumbling kick beyond defensive 50. Straight back to Richards. Almost every player in the Dogs forward 50. Richards kicks it deep. English got a hand to it. Falls down to Tracy, who's tackled to ground. We'll have a ball up. 20 metres out from the Dogs' goal. They trail by 10 points. 29 minutes gone in the last.
They rarely win the tight ones, Freo. Can they hang on here? English took it himself. Had a hurried snap that goes across the face. It won't go out. It will now as Draper gathered, and he got tackled by Darcy across the boundary line. Throwing right full forward for the Bulldogs.
Actually defended okay, D50 Fremantle. 63 inside 50s against. They're hanging in there.
And deep into red time, 29 minutes gone, 10 points Freo's lead. English won it down, out after it is Sharp, tackled by Davidson again over the boundary line in the right forward pocket, about 25 out from the Bulldogs' attacking goal. Nerves jangling around Perth Stadium. The Purple faithful wondering, can their team hang on this time? English won it down. Got it back a second time from West. Knocked out of there. Taken by Murphy Reid. English forced to defend and tackles him to ground.
If at all possible, they need to keep this in close. Fremantle.
Voss has done well. Palmed it down to Sarong. Hard up against the boundary. Tumbles a kick towards the commentary wing. Karmas in front. Was in front of Bolton. Couldn't take it. But that will work okay for the Dockers as it ricocheted away off Karmas and over for another boundary throw-in. Seconds continue to tick by. They'll pause for a moment, but they've got themselves now about 80 metres away from the Western Bulldogs' attacking goal. And they've seen another 7 or 8 seconds off the clock. English palmed it over his head with a tap, and O'Meara was there for the Dockers. To Brayshaw, to Bolton, clearing kick towards left half forward. Amos couldn't mark, one down by Karmas. Amos butted up, got it, went to Murphy Reid, one-on-one battle with Dale. Dale put himself in the front position, did well to shepherd the ball, allowed Gallagher just to gather, and then Murphy Reid backed up again and knocked him and the football over the boundary line for a throw-in, deep in the left forward pocket. And so many of the Dockers senior players come across to say well done to young Reid for his second effort on that occasion. 10 points the margin in favour of Freo. 31 minutes gone in the final term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Ball spun back in. Comes to the front of the pack. Roving it is Voss. Handball to Murphy Reid to finish off the work he started. Reid dribbles it through. He saved the game and then he won it. Murphy Reid gets his first goal since his first game, and what a moment to do it. That'll be enough for the Dockers. The margin's back out to 16 points. 15-7, 97 the Dockers, 12-9, 81 the Bulldogs. 31 and a half minutes gone. The chant goes around Fremantle. Peter Bell, Shane Woden, he forced the boundary throw-in and then he kicked the goal.
Yeah, just didn't give up. Got through Bailey Dale on that one in the boundary line. Paddy Voss was actually really excited on that one too, wasn't he?
He was, and well done to him, Paddy Voss, because he's up against Tim English in the ruck and he created a really good forward 50 stoppage contest. And Murphy Reid, he's just a smart player. Let's be a warning against the Bulldogs for 666. Really smart player, right thing, right time.
It took them to the 32nd minute mark of the fourth quarter to kick their first goal of the term. It should be enough for the Dockers now. English slaps it forward only as far as Ryan at centre half back for the Dockers. Hurried kick towards centre wing. Sharp will get there. Happy to be tackled and then fumbled across the line for a stoppage. Centre wing southern side. They were running out of fit players and the Bulldogs were surging home. Murphy Reid might have got it done for them. From the restart, it came out to Williams. Hurried kick for the Bulldogs to left half forward. Win it again through McNeil. His hand pass intercepted though by Sarong, who's been everywhere today. To Brayshaw, the 150 gamer. High kick in the direction of Amos. He attacked the football against English. Here's Reid again, tapping it back over the boundary line for another throw-in between centre wing and right half forward for Fremantle. The Dockers fans, they know this game is theirs. And for a long period of this final term, that's something that they were not sure of at all. Throwing in again. English palmed it down. Williams over it. The Dockers hang on to win a thriller. Challenged to the last by the Western Bulldogs. They prevail by 16 points to go 2-2 in season 2025. We are the Frio Dockers. Frio, way to go. Give them real hot, send them down below. Oh, Frio, give them the old home. We are the Frio Dockers. We're the rollers, we're the rockers. We're the mighty Frio Dockers. We're gonna roll them and we'll rock them. We're gonna send them to the bottom. And if they get up, we'll do it again. The Dockers stop at nothing, nothing. Frio, way to go. Hit them real hard, send them down below. Oh, Frio, give them the old ho. We are the Frio Dockers. Frio, way to go. Hit them real hard, send them down below. Oh, Frio, give them the old ho. We are the Frio Dockers. So the Dockers climb up to 11th from 13th. The Bulldogs slip from 8th to 10th, for whatever the ladder is worth at this stage of the season. Of bigger concerns for Fremantle, injuries to Jackson and O'Driscoll. They showed plenty of courage. Cox, who had a full body cramp, had to get back out there and continue right at the end. And we do wonder how on earth they've ended up with 80 of 75 interchanges. That's something I'm sure we'll find out a little bit later in proceedings. But Fremantle turned a 2-point advantage at quarter time into a 32-point lead at the half, a 24-point advantage at three-quarter time as the Bulldogs hit right back before Freo got the last goal of the game from Murphy Reid to win by 16. The goal kickers for the Dockers, Tracy with 3, Frederick with 3, 2 to Bolton, singles to Brayshaw, Jackson, Reid, Amos, Banfield and Dudley. While for the Western Bulldogs, goodness me, is this young man going to be some sort of a player. Sam Darcy with his second best career haul of 5 goals, 2 to Sanders and then singles to West, O'Donnell, Harms, McNeil and Norton. Fremantle by 16 points, 15-7-97. So the Bulldogs, 12-9-81 in front of 41,491 fans. The Dockers go 2-2. So too, for whatever it's worth, the Western Bulldogs. Let's get the thoughts of our experts. Sunday footy on ABC Sport right around the nation. Dual premiership player and former Dockers captain Peter Bell alongside Brownlow medalist Shane Woewodin.
Thoroughly entertaining game and a resilient victory by Fremantle in the end, set up by a scintillating second quarter where they're all over the Bulldogs. Must be said though, the Bulldogs had a lot of momentum in that second half with a 4-2-3 third quarter, and then while Fremantle were gassed, the Bulldogs had all the running but just missing that last clinical piece, I suppose, Wowie, to tie off their work. They just couldn't land enough blows to get themselves right back into the match, even though I thought there were opportunities to do so.
Oh, absolutely, Billy. Couldn't agree more. Plenty of opportunities. I just thought their method going inside 50 in that last quarter, probably a bit more, or probably a little bit Sam Darcy conscious, and effectively just bombing it in there, numbers back, get it. So they defended it really well. Maybe had to basketball around a bit, looking for a lower entry and just get a shot on goal. It just become predictable. And so Freo knew what was going to happen to that last quarter, and they just couldn't capitalise on any opportunities when they did go inside 50. And they had territory, they had field position, just weren't able to do. So that's why I thought Freo defended it really well.
Yeah, and I just wonder, like a resilient victory, but I just wonder, that's 4 games in a row for Fremantle that they played in really warm or even hot conditions. You know, nearly 30 degrees today. Even round 1 down in Geelong was a mid-30s day. A lot of Fremantle players cramping and sore, and of course we've lost, we assume, Wagner. I say Fremantle. Wagner with an injured calf, And also Jackson looks like a hamstring, which is confirmed by the club. O'Driscoll ankle as well. The depth is going to be tested over the next few weeks.
Is it a good sign that Luke Jackson was like running around at 3/4 time and said, "I'm good to go," and they just said, "You're too valuable to kind of go out there"? And is that a?
And he's running around now. I think he's giving a message to the medical staff. I'm okay. He sort of went off on a bit of a gallop then to give the ball into the crowd. So it doesn't look like a bad one. But these guys are professionals and girls in the high performance, so if they say you're out of the game, more than likely there's something there given what's at stake and at a crucial moment in the match. But he's a pretty good healer as well, Luke Jackson. He keeps it pretty simple, so I wouldn't think that he'd be on the sidelines for too long. But yeah, we'll wait and see on that one, I guess.
Smart decision. Very smart. No risk.
Darcy might be back next week if he's.
Yeah,
I think it's good. You think he might need one more week in the waffle?
Watched him yesterday, and at least one more week. He was a bit rusty, Sean Darcy, and look, I think more than likely, my guess would be that they'd prefer Liam Reedy to play and allow Sean to build himself up and set himself up for the back half of the year. Set him up to succeed rather than rush him back in and when he's out of touch because he hasn't played much or trained much over the last couple of months.
You must be. I know you talked about it a bit throughout the call there, but just Patrick Voss in the end, a massive last quarter to do a lot of the ruck work and then to win the final stoppage clearance, get it to Murphy Reid and keep the goal. We talked a lot about him pre-game and about his ability to hit the scoreboard, but in the end it was him setting another player up that was the difference.
Yeah, and you can impact in different ways, I suppose. That's the message out of today for Pat Voss. He didn't have a day in front of the big sticks, had the one shot at goal from memory that he narrowly missed, but that's set up for him a forward 50 stoppage. He is a strong guy. He got English out of the way, and Murphy Reid kicks the sealer for Fremantle.
Just hold that thought for a moment because we want to get more from both you and from Shane, but our friendly print media team have wandered into the champion data box, which is, for those who don't know, probably about 60, 70 metres away from where we are, and they've asked the question, what on earth is going on? There was a glitch in the champion data numbers.
Right.
At the start of the quarter when we thought they had maybe 4, they had 10. So they were able to just keep it within. What does concern me that there's a glitch in the numbers, and I'm happy that somehow we didn't get a situation where Fremantle didn't know and they weren't able to use it, but that's why you're wondering, hang on, why were they able to have, what did they have at the end, Mitch? You had the stats up, something like 70,
80, I think
80?
It was.
So
80 officially was the count through the official champion data.
So 75 was what you're allowed. We got told they had 10. We thought they had 4 left, means they finished under by 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Just.
So they've known.
Obviously, champion data knew that there was an issue. They've been able to tell Freo, you've got this many left, which is why we're sitting up here, and indeed I reckon everybody else going, what on earth is going on here? That's why they were able to have the number of interchanges. If you're a punter and you're looking at your phone, or you're looking, as we were, with the numbers here going, hang on, why has there not been a free kick given to the Bulldogs? That's the reason why. There was a glitch of some reason. Don't know why, don't know how, but there you go. So they haven't actually broken, from what we can understand, any of the laws with the 75 interchanges. Let's head down into the rooms. They'll be happy hanging on with that one. The Fremantle Dockers. Bridget Lacey is there for us. Bridge.
Yes, the vibes are good as Alex Pearce leads the team in. They all look very sore and sorry, but very happy. President, CEO, number 1 ticket holder are all hugging in here just before. This should be good. Here we go. There you have it. Hopefully have a players very soon.
Brendan Cox, Jager O'Meara with their bubs in the circle as well. First time in a long time I've seen bubs in the circle for the Fremantle Dockers.
Yeah, young squad. You can always tell where you are in the premiership window by how many kids there are in the place. But good to see down at Fremantle that there's the next generation coming along.
So those scores today, Fremantle by 16 points, 15-7, 97. The Bulldogs 12-9, 81. Earlier, the Giants by 81 over the Eagles, and St Kilda by 17 over Port Adelaide. 0437 774 774 if you'd like to text in and let us know your thoughts on the performance today, what you made of the Western Bulldogs, what you made of Fremantle. Is this a step again in the right direction after a really disappointing start from them. I guess the question is, and you brought it up, Peter, and I reckon we were all thinking it, Freo generally don't tend to hang on when it's tight. It got to within 10 points. Their record of late has been very poor in close games. This time they were able to, I know this is a cliche, but get the job done. They could do it. They hung on, and Murphy Reid made absolutely sure of it with a brilliant bit of play, a second effort to tackle the ball over the boundary line. He then deserved to be on the end of that goal that sealed it for them.
Yeah, look, there were reasons why they were looking like they're getting overrun today, but in recent history, I'm trying to remember this correctly, but in 2024, 5 times they were in front at three-quarter time and they got overrun. They had a narrow loss against Sydney where the same thing happened a couple of weeks ago, but they held on today. And I think, it was a combination of they gritted their teeth and defended really, really well. You mentioned what the inside 50s had to defend 63 inside 50s, which they did. And maybe there was a bit of a problem with some of the Bulldogs' methodology in moving the ball forward, but they defended really well. They gritted their teeth and they ground out a victory that'll be really crucial for the season looming.
And free kicks 27-15, so on the bad side of the ledger on that one.
So some big questions, I suppose. You'd have to suggest that, barring a real surprise, Luke Jackson, he'll be missing for at least a week or two, you would think, unless they get a really positive outcome there. And O'Driscoll didn't look good. And you really worry in games like this how players are going to pull up 24, 48 hours afterwards, and 4 games in a row in really hot conditions. It's been really taxing for Fremantle, and they lose a couple today, it would seem, with Wagner as well.
Light week.
We'll head down into the Dockers' rooms very shortly again to hear from Bridget. She'll have a player with her. I'm always awkward when I bring this up and I expect abuse on the text line for it, but I have to ask you, after all the controversy that we had yesterday with that single umpiring decision against Isaac Rankin that should have been a mark or a free kick, what did we make of the officials today? Never like to sort of touch around the edges, but I thought there was some appalling holding the ball decisions not paid. And if it was, well, let's be honest, it was Luke Beveridge who brought it up that he wasn't sure what constitutes a tackle. This week, he almost off his own bat decided to bring it up. I thought today was a really good example about, well, hang on, what is holding the ball here?
Both ways at times.
Yeah. No, this is, by the way, this is not
this is both ways.
Yeah,
not the free kick count. It's about
it's not the free kick count. I'm never worried about the free kick count. It can be completely lopsided and be absolutely fair, but there were times today when I had no idea whether a free kick was going to be paid or not.
Agreed.
I thought you were winding up there.
Yeah, it's hard to see from here. Like, when you're in the coalface stuff, you can't quite see. Umpire's got a great view, but my interpretation of it and the interpretation of the rule is that if you make a genuine attempt to get rid of it, and you're okay.
But there were a couple of times, particularly on the outer wing, players were tackled, they'd had prior, they dropped it, ball was allowed to play on. And you're like, what is happening here?
We could talk for hours about what holding the ball is and what it isn't at the moment, and I guess that's the issue at hand. That there isn't a whole lot of clarity, I think, whether you're a player, whether you're a spectator, whether you work in the footy industry or you're just watching it. I don't think many people could articulate exactly what holding the ball is.
And players don't know.
I will say, whether it's good or bad, and the umpiring maybe at times wasn't amazing today, it's not Fremantle fans I'm having a go at, but it never sits well when they vigorously boo the umpires coming off, because I know it's within their right to do it, but I just look at that coming off, and it was a pretty violent boo going towards the umpires. They left the ground after the game, and I think, why would you want to do it? And you're in your right to boo. I know you pay your money, you can boo. It's not technically abuse, but it never sits well with me.
No,
you won the game and you violently boo them.
I get that.
Why would you want to do it? I wouldn't want to do it.
I still get that, but
I
still understand why people are genuinely bamboozled, bewildered, confused about what's happening. And
I agree. I was as well.
By the way, let me chuck this out there. Booing. I'm just going to take a little leaf out of the Ben Cameron Corbin Middlemass book. Bit of self-promotion here. Extra time. 7 o'clock in the West, 9 o'clock around the rest of the country. Peter Bell will join me. We'll have Ray Chamberlain, who I do know Belly once had a really long and exciting interchange with. You're laughing. He'll tell that. Don't tell the story now, Billy.
I was about to say I was going to be a hypocrite because I'm not the one who should be talking about going easy on the umpires because I wasn't in my playing day, and I regret that a lot because it is a really hard job.
Ray Chamberlain told the story to me on the phone the other day about one of his first games with you, and I'm hoping that he can tell that again.
Is that the lead?
On extra time. I don't think it'll be
that
the
off
lead.
the top.
Yeah, mate. I think
that'll be very embarrassing for
I
me.
just say you've got a man here who won a Brownlow medal. He must have butted up the umpires every week.
He's the opposite.
He's like, he was shaking their hands and very polite.
No. No? I probably got worse as I got older.
Got grumpier.
Yeah, grumpier in the waffle too. I sprayed a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, extra time tomorrow, Ray Chamberlain. We'll get him to pick apart a couple of those holding the ball decisions. Join us on ABC Sport Digital wherever you are around the country, or on 720 ABC Perth and ABC WA here in the West. He's our every Monday correspondent with Razor's Edge. Belly?
I think what happened today, there was a phase there for Fremantle where there were 3 or 4 in a row that, or there definitely 1 or 2 that were missed, but the crowd thought there were 3 or 4 in a row that were missed, and they were just feeding off each other, and each one got bigger and bigger and bigger, even though that a number in that sequence weren't free kicks. And then, of course, what happens? The Bulldogs get a free kick.
that always compounds it all. Let's go downstairs. Bridget Lacey. Bridge.
Thanks, Clint. Lucky enough to have Caleb Sarong standing alongside me. Caleb, what a wonderful win for the footy club. Can you talk me through what you were thinking in that last quarter? I'm pretty sure they had your number on the board to bring you off, but you didn't come off in that quarter, did you?
No, it was. I didn't. It was one of those ones where we had a few rotations down, a few sore boys going to the last quarter, and we kind of knew that we were just going to have to tough it out. There was a few guys that had some unbelievable efforts in the last quarter just to stick fat, like Vossi going in the ruck. He hadn't played ruck until about a month ago, and he's been working his backside off. I don't know how many hit-outs he would have won in the last, probably not many, but his just ability to compete and keep the ball in somewhat of a predictable area for us against a really good ruckman was massive. And there was plenty of guys that really just stuck it out in that last quarter because we just had to. It wasn't pretty. They had some opportunities, but we just had some really big moments, and guys step up and seize those moments.
So you're playing in hot conditions. You've played a really good game, but you've got a few soldiers down, and you haven't had a great record in close games. As leaders, was there anything in particular you said to the rest of the players going into that one?
Not necessarily. Like JL spoken at 3/4 time about these are the moments you want to be in. We've been trying to own these moments and want to be in them, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of belief in those moments and to see a bit of evidence that what you're doing is working. And we've fallen over it in those moments time and time again in the last 8 to 10 games, back into last year and early this year. So it's the doubt's there, but as leaders you can't let that seep into the players or into our minds. We've got to really lead by example in those moments. You can say as much as you want, but until you go out and do it and have a few critical contests. I thought some of Moose's contests in the air in the last quarter were massive. Some of Lukey Ryan's efforts were huge. Those are the kind of leaders that you look to, that we want to be leaders that lead by action and then help the guys with our voice and communication. But most importantly, the biggest way you can lead and help guys around you is by action and example. So I felt like some of the leaders tonight were huge.
And I think you said it's been the hardest pre-season you've ever done. Probably prepared you well for today, but 38 disposals for yourself. How did you see that midfield battle?
They're a great midfield. Obviously got a few soldiers down in Bont and Treloar that are stars, but Libar, Richards, Kennedy, Fraser's a really good young player. Tim English is the star ruckman of the competition, so it was always going to be really tough for us. And we felt like when we got the contest right and we're really predictable in that space, the ability to hold it in and test the tackle, we got some really good looks, but it was a bit inconsistent, and when we didn't get that right, they got some really good looks. So it was probably would have been a pretty good battle to watch in terms of from the stands, because there was some pretty dangerous looks from both teams, and we want to tidy that up. We don't want to be a team that lets teams out the front like that, but saying that, when we got it right, we had some really awesome looks for ourselves, and I felt like the guys take away probably the first quarter and parts of that early third quarter, we had some really good moments as a midfield group against a really good team.
Send you upstairs for some questions. Clint Wilden's up there with our experts, Peter Bell and Shane Woden.
Caleb, congratulations on the win. Did the game feel as fast as it looked in that first quarter? It just seemed it was zinging from end to end.
Well, you know me, I need a few stoppages to get into the game, and there wasn't many early, so it was tough. Yeah, we were blowing early. It was up and back. We know that they like to flick their hands around and go from inside to out, and then also change angles by foot and do it quickly. And they've been really good at moving the ball end to end, and we weren't able to stop it early just from an inability to squeeze the ground and get up in their face and pressure them. And felt like once we got that right, we were able to kind of stop it a little bit and get some really good looks going the other way. But early on, we couldn't, and that's probably why it looked like it was up and back. And it took probably until the second quarter for a little bit of slow play to come into it, just for everyone to settle down a little bit. But I think you saw so many missed opportunities from both teams going forward just because of how fast it was.
And certainly in the second quarter, I made the comment that I just thought your ball movement was as clinical as I've probably seen it for a long time. And obviously it's something you've been working on as a team, but just to get some of those easy scores once the ball's out in free play.
Yeah, I think if you look at our forward line now, we've got some threats up there. The tools are incredible, the way they're bringing it to ground, and then the way they can move around the ground is amazing. You've got so many threats to kick it to, whether it's on the lead or kicking it high. But the smalls are getting really dangerous. So I think Murphy Reid had some unbelievable moments tonight. Just his smarts are unbelievable. But Shea Bolton, you can't teach what he does. You just kick it in his area, and he's just incredible, whether it's on the ground or in the air. So when you got those kind of individuals up forward, we've got to continue to get our part right up the ground, and the backs and the mids are working on that to give them the most opportunities and the best opportunities possible. But I think you saw that in small glimpses tonight. When we get it right, it's pretty hard to stop. So we'll be doing our best to make that more of a consistent theme.
Have you had to manage your training loads at the moment? I mentioned there's 4 games in really hot conditions. Have you had to sort of restrict the amount of training you're getting done during the week, or just really focus on recovery, or a bit of both?
A little bit of both, definitely. I think on the back of round 1, we're pretty cooked. The Geelong game, it was humid. We don't train in the humidity much. Obviously, we train in a lot of heat, which prepares you well, but the humidity is a different beast, and boys were pretty sore and cramping up after that game. So on the back of that, we probably monitored it a little bit more, and our focus was more intensity rather than overall load. So I feel like the lads have still been training really hard and getting a lot out of training, but we've probably pulled back the load a little bit just to give the guys a bit of a freshen up and make sure we're ready to go for the weekend. And I feel like guys are starting to feel really good on the weekends and get the most out of the training blocks that we've had over the pre-season.
Caleb, Shane Woden, mate, congrats on the win. Terrific result for the footy club and under trying conditions again. Mate, what was JL's message at quarter time? I hear you did elaborate on a little bit on how that game was going your way, but really interested and for the listeners as to what JL's message was at quarter time when the game was probably a more Western Bulldogs game at that stage.
Yeah, definitely. As a midfield group, we spoke about exactly what I mentioned before about sitting back a little bit and allowing them to use their hands. And that was probably a theme across the ground. We didn't squeeze the ground and allowed them to chip it around or use their hands. And to be honest, the contest wasn't good enough. So they were owning that area, and JL spoke about that. And he mentioned that obviously the score, I think we were 2 points up. It was pretty close, but it flooded us and wasn't the way that we wanted to play. And it's obviously nice when that happens sometimes, when you kind of don't play the way you like, but you kick a few goals and get a little bit dangerous up forward, which it's the beauty of having a dangerous forward line, but that's not the way we want to play. We want to lock the ball in our front half and keep it there and kind of pin teams down that way. But felt like that was probably the main message. We need to get the contest right and get the ball going our way.
Was it brought to attention at three-quarter time that you probably had minimal rotations in that last quarter? So was the playing group aware of it? Yeah, we were. We were down a couple. It was more the midfield probably group that were aware of it, because obviously Luke Jackson and Driz went down, and we kind of spoke about Vossi coming in and our plans around that. But it was pretty much just dig deep, lads, and get through. We knew we were going to have to grit our teeth, and it was going to be tough. They were going to come with everything, and we just had to stand up, and that's what we did. I thought your backs and you defended D50 really well in that last quarter. Like the first quarter and a half, where we weren't really getting done as a midfield group, I went and got around them at half time. Some of the stuff, like against a forward line that's pretty freakish in terms of their ability to kind of clunk it and then get to the feet. Some of their work down there, Chappie's first half was unbelievable. And then, like I said, Alex Pearce, Lukey Ryan. I think Drapes had some unbelievable aerial contests in that last quarter on Sam Darcy. Not many people, I think people are starting to understand now how much of a freak athlete he is and how good he is. And to be able to get a hand to some of those balls where not many can, it was pretty impressive and saved our backside time and time again, which was incredible.
Speaking of Dockers midfielder Caleb Sarong, Caleb, Mitch Turner here. You mentioned Sam Darcy then. What was going through your head in the first quarter when he had 10 touches, 5 marks, 2 goals? Was there a little voice in the back of your head that said, oh, gee, it might be hard to stop this guy today?
Yeah, it was a stage where he, I was on the bench and I was watching and he just kind of stuck his big arm out and held Alex Pearce off and then took a big contested mark. And I'm like, this guy's going to be hard to stop, not just today, but for years going forward. So he's incredible. I haven't really seen a player like him. I know people have kind of said it the last few weeks, but his size and ability to move and some of his craft now is probably the backs can speak to it more than I can because I'm not going to be playing on him too much. And I didn't today, but I was just watching him. He's going to be a freak for years going forward.
Getting to see it up close, and I know he's very tall, so it might be hard to get a good vantage point. I'm not saying you're short or anything, Caleb, but what did you make of the lobster hairdo up close from your former teammate?
I had a good look at it after the game. Like you said, I actually couldn't quite see it. I had to kind of get on my tippy toes and kind of turn around, but yeah, it's a nice bit of artwork, to be honest. It would have been bloody tough to do.
Caleb, Clint Wilden here. Great to have you back on the ABC. I just wanted to talk how your career is progressing. So 4 Glendinning Allen medals, which was outstanding last week, couple of best and fairest, couple of All-Australians, a goal of the year as well. When you go back to when you first got drafted to Fremantle, how do you sort of rank what you've been able to achieve so far?
To be honest, yeah. The beauty about this game is you got to look forward pretty quickly. You can't really reflect too much until kind of post-career or sometimes post-season on the season that's been, but you don't really look too far back. But if I kind of look back to my first year, all I thought about, I was a pretty naive young kid that wanted to come in. Bally would have seen it. I was in a rush. I wanted to play as quick as I could. I thought I should have been playing from round 1, which in hindsight I definitely shouldn't have been. But I was just in a rush to try and get in the team and do what I could to start playing. And from there, I think all I've tried to do is kind of try and get better every day. And that's my motto, and that's something that I try and we try and live by as players in a playing group. And that simplifies it, to be honest. You don't need to look too far ahead except for tomorrow. How are you going to get better tomorrow? And that's kind of where I'm at, and it's helped me in good stead so far.
And I forgot the most important, a Christian medal as well. Congratulations on today. 38 disposals, 24 of them contested, 17 ground ball gets, 15 clearances. That is some stat line. Well done, Caleb Sarong.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Always enjoy chatting with you.
Caleb Sarong downstairs from the Fremantle Dockers. We used to speak to him an awful lot back in the day when he first signed up. Great to have him back on what is now Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. Gents, we need the votes in the ABC Footballer of the Year, a 3-2-1, and of course in the Christian medal for the best of the Fremantle Dockers players today. Who's taking charge?
Okay, so one vote, Andy Brayshaw on his performance. Just Robin Hood, and what's the other one?
Batman. Little John.
Batman and Robin. Friar Tuck. Who's Friar Tuck?
No one wants to be Friar Tuck. No one. Could be worse. Could be the captain. It's Neil. There's so many other options.
I haven't watched cartoons for a long time. I thought Brayshaw complimented us wrong really well. So he got the 1. Gave Sam Darcy the 2. It was probably neck and neck there for a while, but Sarong's game across the 4 quarters was elite. He put them on their back today and drove it across the line. So I gave Caleb Sarong the 3.
And the Christian medal?
Which makes it 3 for Sarong, 2 to Brayshaw. We need a 1.
And 1 for Luke Ryan. Luke Ryan down back.
Luke Ryan, yeah. Could have been a couple of other defenders probably, but Luke Ryan, he was just on, and he'd actually had a poorer start to the year by his very high standards, but he was on today. Some fierce spoils. He used the ball well. It was a really nice game. He was aggressive and he saved Fremantle many times.
Got any other numbers, Mitch, that leap out off the page? You haven't had a chance to have a little squeeze at those?
Well, I will just wrap up some of the team stats and individual